With Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland Sommers.
Kev, can I borrow that pen?
What's up?
Why do none of these pens work in this thing? That's because we have literally lost ink in about 100 pens scratching out our damn brackets. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland Sommers. And again, happy March Madness, everybody. I'm telling you right now, they call it March Madness for a reason, and that's exactly what this has been. It has been a lot of madness. And look, there are a lot of things in life that you can look at me and say, oh, yeah, you know how I can tell Kinner doesn't know what the hell he's talking about? You could list 10 things. If you're going to base it off of the March Madness results right now, there's a lot better options to tell it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Kev, it has been brutal. 3 of my Final Four teams have been eliminated already. Not one of the 3 upsets that I called have happened. I'm afraid my stomach turns when I go to check the scores for the bracket scores update. I mean, there's a lot of great people doing great things with their brackets still. And we'll give you the standings update here in just a little bit. But I'm telling you right now, it's madness every year. Why we sound shocked every year is beyond me. But this has been exactly. I mean, it sucks that we didn't get it a year ago because this is what it's all about, man. I'm not a fan of hardly any of these teams, but yeah, I'm invested into everything because, well, that's just what March Madness is. Yeah, good for the NCAA on this part because again, the tournament. There's no better postseason than March Madness, the NCAA tournament.
I say this all the time. I say this isn't the best way to pick a champion for college basketball, but it is the most entertaining way because there's no way in the world that you can get so many people invested in schools they never even heard of. You know, I still don't know where Oral Roberts is, but I do know that they got the 2 best scorers in the country. Ask the Buckeyes, ask the Gators. You know what I'm saying? So you learn about all these other programs and all these other players out there. And we get so fixated on our area and our conference and what we watch, what we're used to. And we get sucked into that because we're on TV all the time. And we got all these teams in the top 25 from our conference. And we forget that, you know, other people play basketball too. And they come out to win this thing. And we got what we got coming to us, man. We got it, man. We got it from Oral Roberts, and Oral Roberts got that Cinderella tag, and, you know, they're on to the Sweet 16 while we're watching Ramon. So I'm excited for the show today. So much to dive into. I do want to give a shout out. Wright State women's basketball team is they had their round 1 game today. They are the Wright State Raiders women's team is a 13 seed, and they are currently up over 4 seed Arkansas 38-26 at the half. Right.
Their star player Angel Baker has 18 first half points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. Tamika Catchings, by the way, one of my favorite all time women's WNBA players. She's calling the game, doing a great job, and they're just glowing over this point guard that Wright State has. She should be on any SEC school, any big time school.
Can't have her.
And yeah, that's the thing. You want these programs to get to this stage, but sometimes it's, you know, in the day and age of a transfer portal being as big as it is, it's like, you know, just little bursts. We don't need the whole show, but man, if they could close out this second half again, that'd be their first NCAA tournament win in program history. How about that, by the way, before we get into more of the tournament over the weekend? And I don't want this to turn into that male chauvinist conversation of, well, the women don't bring in anything. So that was the NCAA. I have no words. Like, there is, I get it to a point. Okay, with the money that the men's sports generate compared to the women's, that conversation gets brought up all the time. But that's not what this is. This is just a decency thing right here because we're talking about a weight room. So a picture and a video started circulating over the weekend about the men's workout area versus the women's workout area. And I shouldn't even say an area; it was a rack. Mm-hmm. And it was just a rack with some weights on it, free weight, whatever those weights are. Yeah, and then my favorite, the yoga mats. There was yoga mats and dumbbells. For the women. And then that wasn't even a room. It was just a little corner. They got a little corner with some dumbbells and some yoga mats. That's what the women got. And then the entire workout facility for the men. I mean, it was just your typical, very nice facility, very nice, every machine you could imagine, every workout you can imagine was there. And it's just like, why are those, again, this isn't even, it doesn't have to go into be a very deep conversation. That was just pure laziness on their part, and they got destroyed and ripped. And of course, Mark Emmert, president of the NCAA, you don't hear a peep from him until days after it, once they get a very nice workout facility put there for the women, of course. But nonetheless, that was one of the bigger conversations over the weekend. The NCAA just dropped the ball on that. Like, this isn't one of those things that you have to go in. Like, this doesn't need to be, this shouldn't even be an equality conversation. It's just weights, but it just shows you how it's like, okay, we got to get this men's tournament in. Title IX, we got to make sure we have the women's tournament too. Fine, just send them all to Texas. But we're all going to be here in Indiana worrying about the men's. That's exactly the vibe I'm getting. Yeah. And I think everyone gets that vibe too. And it's just one of those things where it's unfortunate because the NCAA, it's not NCAA men, NCAA women. It is the NCAA.
Right.
The men and women fall under that umbrella.
Right.
Okay. So that's what my problem is. This isn't a NBA versus WNBA conversation where they are two separate entities, technically under the pro umbrella, and they do work together. Mm-hmm. But the WNBA and NBA are two separate things. Women's basketball and men's basketball under the NCAA umbrella are the same damn thing.
Right.
A lot of the money that is allocated, or a lot of the money that is generated from the men's basketball March Madness, I hate when people say, well, it just funds the women's tournament. And it also funds men's baseball. It also funds every sport out there. Like, really, it's football and basketball on that side. And it's not even so much the men. It's just it's the TV deals for the men's sports that cover everything in the NCAA. So this isn't a men versus women conversation. This is just straight up stupidity on the NCAA's part. It was a PR disaster that really could have been avoided had they just had some common sense up in that front office. It was like I said, and it went down a very weird of course, it brings out these conversations bring out the worst in people, and it didn't disappoint. But the NCAA sure disappointed. I promise you that much. That was just ridiculous. That shouldn't be something that they're having to worry about, is that of begging for that. Then they started showing the difference of the quality of food. The women's teams are getting like TV dinners, and the men's teams are getting like this all-out buffet from like these fancy steak restaurants and everything. Again, enough of the jokes.
And
enough
you're
of the
in Texas, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
You know, there's some great restaurants in Texas, great food down in Texas. You know, the big thing about it is just sad. It's just sad that we have to deal with this, and still sad that those young women had to deal with that and had to go on social media. You know, we talked about this back in the summer with the college football, and I brought up the fact that, you know, college athletes, their voice is Twitter. And we saw it again this weekend where an athlete had to go on social media for it to get attention and for it to be seen by everybody, to get retweets from, you know, the big time players like Steph Curry and LeBron James to get behind it before the NCAA cared about them and did anything about it. I'm not going to applaud the NCAA for doing what they're supposed to do. You know, Dick's Sporting Goods stepped up and brought them the stuff in less than 24 hours. You mean to tell me they couldn't do that before? You know, it's just a sad situation, man. And people talking about bring in some more money, generate more revenue. Well, you know what? The women's tournament comes on ESPN. We, you know, for lack of a better word, work for ESPN, right? ESPN not giving away airtime for free. You know, they're paying the NCAA to have these women's games on. So there's money being generated. No, it's not on the level of the men's. Of course not. No, it's not on the level of college football. Of course not. But it is money being generated. And when you just turn around and say, hey, here's some microwave dinners from the... And
I'm not joking. Yes. TV dinners. Like
Salisbury steaks.
Yes. The film was like removed. Like, so you had your little tray. And I don't know who posted. I think it was the play. I can't pronounce her name. She plays at Oregon.
Yes.
Really, really close with Kobe's daughter. Was really close with Kobe Bryant.
Sabrina Anusku.
Anusku. There we go. She literally showed the video of them pulling the film off of their TV dinner that night. That's what they got.
TV dinner.
That's ridiculous. And again, I know we keep, and you have alluded to it, the money that the men's sports generate versus the women. That's not the case here.
But these are supposed to be amateurs, though.
The NCAA is the NCAA, though.
Right.
It's not broken up. I mean, I'm sure you could break it down into by sport and by gender and all that, but it's the NCAA umbrella. This isn't a conversation of why are the amenities for NBA players in the finals different than the WNBA players in the WNBA finals, and you can have that conversation too, but you can't blame the NBA if their amenities are better versus the WNBA, because they're not the same thing. They're just not. But women's basketball, men's basketball is the same thing because they're under the same NCAA umbrella. That's the biggest separation of those two. This isn't about men versus women. This is just the fact that you have the NCAA treating one side differently than the other. Better. better.
Yeah, I
than the
mean,
other.
you
So-
talk about women's basketball. Ask people in Knoxville, Tennessee, how they feel about their women's basketball program. They generate a lot of revenue for that city. Ask Stores, Connecticut, their program generates a ton of revenue.
I know this
Lexington,
sounds really
Kentucky.
strange. So when I started working at Wright State, doing student radio there, one of the assignments I got was to go cover when Wright State's women's team played in Green Bay for their conference finals, whatever. Green Bay is like one of the big, I mean, yes, it's known for the Packers, Kev, but they like love their women's basketball. Like the little Green Bay Phoenix out of the Horizon League, that whole little area is like, they have flags hung out in the front yard for that team. It's crazy. Like it's unlike anything you see, right? Like, it is strange to me that you see so much of that. Again, my big thing with all this is this isn't a men versus women's conversation. This is an NCAA conversation because the men and the women they're basically in the same league. You're a Division I athlete, Division I men's athlete, not Division I men's athlete. You are an NCAA Division I athlete, and you should be treated the same by that. This isn't the NBA, WNBA, where they're not the same. And again, I'm not trying to get into that conversation. All I'm saying is you can't compare the two. They're vastly different. That's where the NCAA came in and was wrong and how they handled all of this. And you're right. And to be honest, like they look stupid. Then, then when the video is posted of what they did, I mean, it looked pretty damn cool. They got all the drapes. They got the big logo. They got every word, it was the same as the men's, but too late. Not going to give you credit for something. And by the way, it's all over a weight room, by the way. All over a weight room. And then she started posting, so the difference in the meals, and then like the little goodie bags that they got. Like the women got like some little tissue with an NCAA logo on it and some little toothbrush. I mean, damn, it's like they left the damn dentist and got a little to-go bag. And then the men, they're getting, the Beats by Dre. They're getting new shoes. They're getting like all of these NCAA athletes, not NCAA men's athlete versus female athlete. That you are an NCAA athlete. There is a humongous ass difference between that and when we're talking pro sports outside of it. Yes, I know that there's the blurry lines of amateurism versus pro when it comes to the athletes being paid and the money being generated. But the bottom line is this shouldn't have been a conversation this weekend, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it puts a damper on March Madness, and it's it's Women's History Month.
Yeah, on top of that,
come on, man, like it's just a bad look overall.
So it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash here on 1410 ESPN Radio. I hope everyone's having a great day. The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash presented by Kirkland and Sommers. The madness is real. We're going to step away for a few minutes. When we come back, I'm curious people's thoughts. The identity crisis that occurs for these programs within the NCAA tournament. Oral Roberts, who played 5 Power 5 teams in the regular season, didn't beat one of them, has beat Ohio State and Florida in the NCAA tournament. Is Oral Roberts for real? Are they just hot right now? Should they be a Power 5 team now? Should the Big Ten pluck Oral Roberts? The identity crisis that happens every year during the NCAA tournament, it just fascinates me. It fascinates me. So now Oral Roberts is this big-time program, and the Big Ten is just the small 10 now. I don't get it. I don't understand it. The identity crisis within the NCAA tournament. We're going to discuss that when we come back. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers, next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Mostly sunny and warm today as the temp climbs to 69. Partly cloudy tonight, low 44. The clouds thicken up tomorrow with a high temp of 67. We'll hit the low 70s on Wednesday, although there is a chance of rain. I'm John Bailey for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hi, my name is Brian Summers, and I'm an attorney with Kirkland and Sommers. We are a law firm dedicated to divorce and family law. We have 2 locations serving Miami Valley, one near Austin Landing and the other in Troy. Remember, we're not part-time divorce and family lawyers. We're full-time here for you.
Kirkland and Sommers, trusted and experienced, a family law practice dedicated to serving you. Visit them online at kirklandandsommers.com. That's Sommers with an O, kirklandandsommers.com.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up any non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. With COVID continuing to spread, nothing matters more than having an accurate thermometer that's backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies, like the Exergen temporal scanner. Even after getting the COVID vaccine, you should be monitoring for fever to make sure you are protected. Keep your family and yourself safe by trading up your non-contact thermometer for an accurate temporal scanner and a $5 rebate from Exergen, where accuracy matters. Details at Exergen.com.
I'm Terry Krupp of Laird's Tax and Accounting. We are excited to announce we are open and here to help with your tax preparation needs. We offer multiple options, both convenient and safe. You can drop off your tax return, upload it to our secure website, or call for an appointment. We have 5 locations in the Miami Valley and 1 in Columbus to serve you. No matter the situation, we're confident we can do the job right. Visit lairdstax.com or call 937-325-6571. Laird's Tax and Accounting, here for you to ensure continued confidence in your tax return.
Need a U.S. passport? We can help. Hi, this is Mike Foley, your Montgomery County Clerk of Courts. Visit one of our convenient auto title locations in Heber Heights, Clayton, downtown, Moraine, and Centerville. Make us your first destination before you travel abroad. No appointments ever needed. We do passports.com for more info.
Sports injury, low back pain, or are you interested in improving your performance and getting to the next level? Orion Sports Medicine is truly a unique sports medicine and physical therapy clinic and training facility. We offer a highly educated staff that has experience working with athletes from the recreational and youth levels to elite professionals. We offer services that include PT, functional assessment, wellness, fitness, return to sport, sports performance, strength and conditioning, speed and agility training, all at our state-of-the-art facility in Miamisburg. For more information on Orion Sports Medicine, visit OrionSportsMedicine.com.
How do you protect yourself from the new forms of the coronavirus? Here you go. Got a mask that fits good and snug? Perfect. Now, give your neighbors at least 6 feet of space and avoid crowds, because all that stuff still works too. Look, I'll definitely get my vaccine when it's my turn, but now isn't the time to let your guard or your mask down.
We can do this. Learn more at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You're ready to get back into yoga, so you ordered the essentials: a non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear: noise-canceling headphones.
Welcome. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, this is Eddie Sorrell, Service Manager, Germain Honda of Beaver Creek. When you need service, we're here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays from 6 to 8 and Saturdays from 7 to 5. We proudly offer a state-of-the-art facility with factory-trained technicians, clean waiting room, and service department. Loaner cars are available during service and free alignment checks with any service. Be sure to stop in and ask for our $39.95 oil change special. Germain Honda of Beaver Creek, State Route 35, east of 675, between Xenia and Beaver Creek.
The Perenzino brothers hold monthly online building material and home improvement auctions featuring quality home improvement products. Go to pbauctions.com for all the details and bid on name brand home improvement products, including flooring, kitchen, doors, decking, barn siding, trim, plumbing, lighting, tools, and so much more. All to be sold online. Visit pbauctions.com for preview times and bidding details on the next monthly auction near you. And we'll see you online at the Perenzino Brothers auction.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save $1,000 on our most popular smart bed and adjustable base. Plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Who hasn't been wronged by bad breakfast? Ditch the stale breakfast sandwiches and get tasty made-to made-to-order sandwiches like the Breakfast Baconator and the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, only at participating Wendy's.
Congratulations to the Centerville Elks boys basketball team. For the first time in school history, the Elks reached the OHSAA Division I Boys State Tournament and sealed the deal for their first ever state title. Congratulations from Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. Don't miss out on the opportunity to win $1,000. It's the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway. Each hour starting at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, we'll release a winning word that you can submit at wingam.com. It's easy, it's free, and you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So what's stopping you? Take a chance and swing for the fences and participate at wingam.com. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland Sommers, the divorce and family law firm of the Miami Valley area. That's why you're in a good mood. I kept trying to figure out. I was like, Kev's in a really good mood today. This March Madness Day. The divorce and family law firm of the Miami Valley area with 5 attorneys to meet your needs. Again, Kirkland Sommers right there. Appreciate them sponsoring the show. Appreciate all of our sponsors, including the sponsors of the Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge presented by Orion Sports Medicine and Frickers. And for those of you who filled out a bracket, which there are a lot of you, and we appreciate that, make sure I'm afraid to check mine because it wasn't good last time I checked. I think I mean, you know how the Jeffersons moved on up, I'm moving on down. Like that was me every time I mean, it was unbelievable.
Nightmare.
This has been absolutely insane. But before we get into that, but yes, head to wingam.com, continue to check the status of your bracket. $100 in Frickers bucks will be awarded to the tournament winner at the very end. And I think it's safe to say that this doesn't matter anymore, but $1 million will be awarded to the perfect bracket. And I can't say this, you all screwed up. I'm just saying. So there's that. So it's the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway. And 12 times a day, starting at 6 a.m., you are going to get a winning word. And you take that winning word to wingam.com. So we're going to swing for the fences. We're going to go for it all. Okay. It's Adam Dunn. It's either a home run or it's a strikeout, but we're going to go for the home run. We're going to swing for the fences. So head to wingam.com right now and enter the winning word buzz, B-U-Z-Z. Use it in a sentence, please. Kinner was, buzzed over the weekend watching all this college basketball. It's not the same word though. Buzz, B-U-Z-Z. Enter buzz at wingam.com. It's the Swing for the Fences $1,000 day giveaway at wingam.com. So head there now. The winning word is buzz, B-U-Z-Z. All right. So the madness. I mean, we call it March Madness for a reason, Kev. I mean, it's madness. It's absolute madness. And every year at this time, we have these same conversations. These mid-majors were underseeded. They should have been seeded higher. Blah, 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 blah. We hear it every year. Should we ignore the fact that, and by the way, I'm not here to discredit what these schools are accomplishing. All I'm saying is, why can't we just accept things for what they are? A great story. For a great story. If Oral Roberts and Ohio State played 10 times, Oral Roberts wins one of those 10, and they already did it, so they're going to lose their next 10. I'm just going to say, like, the bottom line, and congratulations to them. I mean, this isn't a anti-Robert or Oral Roberts thing. I say Robert Morris. I'm sorry, Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts, I apologize. So congratulations to them. They got a big win over big wins. They're in the Sweet 16. And all I keep hearing, this team was underseeded. They should have been seeded higher. We got to stop doing that. Abilene Christian. They were underseeded too. Every time there's an upset. Loyola, they were disrespected as well. It's the body of work from the regular season. What you do in the regular season matters. And let's look at Oral Roberts, Kev. They went 16-10. Above 500, good record. They didn't beat one Power 5 school in the regular season. Not that we're expecting them to, but, those are put on there for a reason, for them to, if there's ever a chance to build an at-large resume, you beat a couple of them, and then win a lot of games in your conference, you might be a bubble team. Look at teams like Drake and Loyola, et cetera, even Gonzaga. They're on a whole other planet, though, so I'm not going to include them in that conversation. But the point is that sometimes we just got to accept teams for who they are. And who they are is what they're seeded. Oral Roberts, it was a 15 seed, and they were properly seeded as a 15 seed. They could be a 15 seed and still be really good. That's why you're even in the NCAA tournament. But history tells us that the ones and the 16s, that there's such a ginormous gap that there's just no way that ever happens. It's only happened once. It happens so frequently between the 2 and the 15 that we just right away, there's just no way you should lose to a 15. You're both stepping foot on the floor. You both played tough regular seasons. You both have the goal to win in advance. You both practice. You both play hard. You both, all the things that we hear all the time. That matters. So both things can be true. Oral Roberts has 2 great wins over Ohio State and Florida. Oral Roberts is not better than Ohio State and Florida. Oral Roberts was better than those 2 teams on those particular nights. But we got to stop with this identity crisis of always second guessing. Maybe Oral Roberts is better than we thought. So we're just going to ignore that they couldn't beat a Power 5 school in the regular season. We're going to ignore that they lost to 3 teams who won less than 12 games this season. We're going to ignore all of that. You can't ignore it. You can acknowledge that they are a good team and a good story. Being a good story doesn't mean you're a Power 5 school. They are a good story. And on the flip side, Kev, the Big Ten. Big Ten was overrated. This could be true of saying the Big Ten has had a horrible tournament, but they were not overrated. I do not believe the Big Ten was overrated. The Big Ten had a ton of really good. Illinois is a kick-ass basketball team. Ohio State had a great year. Michigan's still swimming right now. Iowa had Luka Garza. They were a very good coach, well-coached team. They are for real. The Big Ten was not overrated. The Big Ten just was a victim of March Madness. That's all it comes down to. That's what the March Madness represents. I just get tired of the identity crisis that always happens at this time of the year when you make a Cinderella run and the next thing you know, you think that you are sitting at the adult table. Just enjoy the run. Enjoy the journey. Because what you can do with this is capitalize on it and build to get you to that point to where you are part of the Power 5. Like Loyola is well on their way to doing that. They had the Final Four run and NIT. They were going to be back in the NCAA tournament last year. They're back there this year, and they're in the Sweet 16. That's the resume for Loyola over the last 4 years. That's how you capitalize on the success in the tournament. You don't make a Elite 8 run and then get back to the tournament the next year, make it 4 years, and then not be heard of again for the next 5 years after that. No, you can't do that. That's all I'm trying to say is this, that we got to stop with the identity crisis. Enjoy March for what it is. It's madness. Oral Roberts, Abilene Christian is not better than Texas. They were better than Texas that night, and that's all that matters. But it is what it is. It's March Madness for a reason.
Max Amos, the kid from Oral Roberts, best player on the floor. And in college basketball, forget college basketball. In basketball in general, when you have the best player on the floor, you're in those games, especially in college basketball. I was talking to our buddy Drake, big Buckeye fan, just like the rest of us.
From State Farm.
I told him he is looking like CJ McCollum did when he was at Lehigh versus Duke. He looked like the best player out there. He looked like the pro out there. He looked like he's the one that's going to be getting paid in the NBA one day. Not all the guys on the Buckeye team. He was out there giving us buckets left and right. And when you got a guy that can get buckets, like we talked about on Thursday, like I thought that Ohio State was going to win too. But when you have the number 1 scorer in the nation scoring over 25 points a game in a 40-minute college game, and you have the number 5 scorer scoring 21 points a game in college basketball, they're going to score the basketball. They're going to put the ball in the hoop. It's a matter of, okay, we're bigger, we're tougher, we're going to power through them and win by like 10 or 15 points. Yeah, they got theirs. Let's keep it pushing. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen on Friday, And the thing about it is, you're right. This does happen in March. But it happens in March because people like you and I and the guys on the team say, we're at Ohio State, they're Oral Roberts. And then when, oh, man, they're coming out to play. Oh, man, it's still tied. Shouldn't they have given up already? And then what Bromani Jones likes to call lemon booty, that's what started to happen to the Buckeyes.
Lemon booty.
They got tight.
Oh, the sphincter. Okay.
Yeah.
See, now it all makes sense. The tight sphincter. Okay.
They got tight.
Why the lemon? Oh, because it's sour and you pucker up. Okay, I see. It all makes sense now. Lemon booty. Got it.
And Oral Roberts took advantage. Now, I didn't see Oral Roberts, Florida, because I was too busy watching the team that I root for. So I didn't see that game. But I saw the highlights, and apparently the same thing happened to the Florida Gators because I was listening to the morning show.
I changed the channel. They were up, not big. They were up 9, and I moved on. Florida was. I moved on for the game.
I was listening to Jay Will, and he said he got a text from one of the players on Florida the night before the game, like, we ain't Ohio State. They ain't coming to do that to us. Okay, Max Amos didn't do that to you. The other guy did it to you. So I'm with you, man. Like I do believe in Cinderellas and everything like that in March Madness. I understand, like, you know, in a one-off, that's what this tournament is, a one-off. And that's how these games can happen when people get hot for the three-point line. Overall, no, we saw this with Davidson, with Steph Curry. He was the guy that was going to be playing in the NBA. He got hot. Ain't nobody else on that team going to the NBA, but they're not bums. They got D1 scholarships. They can hold their own. But as long as you get the others to hold their own and your star player does what a star player does, you can have a magical run. And that's what we're seeing across college basketball. And especially a year like this, especially with so many teams with COVID pauses, on and off games, people opting out because they want to go pro, just a litany of things. When you have an older team like Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean, you can make this run because the guys that were freshmen on the team that went to the Final Four before, they're seniors now. So they've been there, done that. So they're battle tested. So runs like this, I don't know why we always get so surprised that teams make this run. I am surprised that it's so many teams this year. It just seems like it's a litany of teams that are just being upset left and right. Like, plus the fact that Kentucky's not in there, Duke's not in the tournament this year. So it already had a weird feeling going into the tournament. But now we got teams all over the place getting decimated by lower seeds and teams from a mid-major conference. It's wide open, man. Gonzaga, if y'all don't do it this year, I don't know what to tell you, because we're all expecting next year things to get back to quote unquote normal.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is, does the fact that things aren't normal have anything to do with this? I don't know.
I think so.
College basketball is so interesting to me because of every year. It's like, I think it's tougher than ever to coach in today's game and play in today's game, because when we talk about the significance of team chemistry and what it means to be able to play a few years together, Kev, we're up to 800 players almost in the transfer portal. Like, that's 800 players that are going to be distributed or that are going to be sprinkled throughout the college basketball landscape next year, hopefully. I don't know if all of them that's going to happen. I think some of them end up D2, some of them end up SOL, because so many are entering the transfer portal, and you have, coaches are trying to decide, what do we do here? Do we go get experienced players in the transfer portal to fill some holes, or do we stick with our plan of the incoming freshmen, developing them and moving on? So what I mean by the team chemistry issue is, and you alluded to it, and I think that's why you a lot of times don't see the one and done led teams who dominate in the regular season get it done in the tournament, because an 18-year-old, no matter how talented they are, sometimes the moment can become too big, and that's why they crumble. That's why you see the Calipari teams crumble a lot. We know when he was really heavy in the one and done era, right? And we saw it with Duke many times, even the Zion led year. Just too many young players when the moments got too big. That's why you see these Gonzaga teams who are all just veteran led teams. Loyola, a bunch of seniors, a bunch of, just a grind guys, right? Who've just been able to grind it out and have been able to play through so much that the moment doesn't seem as big for them as what it does for other teams. So my point is that when teams are hitting the reset button every year, you're not getting a lot of these. You're not getting that comfortable type of setting heading into the tournament. Kentucky every year is a new team.
Right.
Duke every year is a new team. Sure, you have some familiar faces, but you're a new team. Now, you could say that about every team has new faces coming in, but the core is never the same. The core is never the same for these top programs. And that's why you're seeing, to me, I don't think it has anything to do with that, Kev. I think the dynamics are changing. You're not seeing the Power Fives gobble up the best players in the world anymore, or at least the same Power Five schools do it. They're being distributed out. They're being kind of sprinkled throughout. So because of that, and they're sticking to the original game plan, if we got to get the one and dones, they're not getting good team chemistry. So the Loyolas, the hardened teams, the experienced teams, they're getting the best of these guys. I think you're going to continue to see upsets more often in the tournament moving forward, because while it's easy to win in the regular season and in more controlled environments, that's why they call it March Madness. The madness overwhelms teams, and that's why you see this happen. It's so crazy to me. This has been a very fun tournament, and there's so much more to go. We'll have some updates on scores around college basketball's March Madness. I do have to ask you this, though. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? I've really enjoyed the Friday through Monday. I'm not not going to lie. I really do. I kind of like it starting off on Friday, ending on a Monday, to be honest with you.
It was weird. It was weird not having it on a Thursday because that's what I was used to. But it's pretty cool to have basketball playing right now while we're on the air. Something to look at as well. I don't know. This might be the new thing because they're not restarting this third round until Saturday. So, normally it would start on that Thursday. So I'm here for it, man. I don't have any problem with it. I kind of like it, man. I did want to get your take on this.
Yep.
So, as you know, you and I really don't believe in bowl records determine how good a conference is in college football. But I do believe a conference record determines how good you are in March Madness. And obviously, the conference that we watch the most, the Big Ten, has not fared so well thus far. Michigan's still hanging around. I think Michigan is the only team left from the Big Ten.
I think Maryland's still kicking around, right? Or what?
Yes. No, wait. I don't know. Who knows? I had them losing anyway. So either way.
Yeah, Maryland plays later tonight. They have Alabama later tonight.
Okay.
So,
So Maryland and Michigan are the only teams left from the Big Ten. Now, I personally believe that in college football, bowl games, they matter because you're going out there to play, but your overall bowl record doesn't determine how good your conference is because, people are, opting out to go train for the professionals, the college football playoff, bowl games aren't what they used to be. So I really kind of throw that out the window. But when you have March Madness in this bracket, everybody's playing for one set goal to win the championship. So do you believe that conference record in March Madness determines how good your conference is?
No. And here's why. I can't let one day for multiple teams change the work that was done in the 3 months leading into it. And the bowl games, to me, used to have more weight. I used to put more credit to the bowl games until the playoffs started, mainly because, and by the way, and me and you differ on this, but I don't feel like I'm the only one that doesn't value the bowl games outside of the playoff anymore. And to be honest, I do value the New Year's Day games. Like those games matter. And UCF found themselves in some really big games with Auburn and other big programs like that, they were able to kind of put themselves on the map. Cincinnati, same thing with them beating Georgia. So, it was, or nearly beating Georgia, but, competing with them. But that was big for the New Year's Six, outside of the New Year's Six games. Now, because of the playoff, it's not that I just don't value it. I feel like the teams don't either. I think that's why you see a mass exodus of star future NFL players. And that to me signifies that to them, this game is not worth it. To me, a playoff game is worth me. If they're saying, hey, I can't play in this game because if I get hurt, I'm ruining my NFL career. Well, those same risks are there for the New Year's Day games as well as the playoff games. So by them choosing and saying that those bowl games are not worth getting hurt in, because my NFL future, that signifies to me that, okay, they don't value those games either. So why should I value those games? Because we're not seeing guys opt out of a national championship game.
Right.
We're not seeing guys, check out of a playoff or a college football playoff game. So that's where that comes from. So as far as the NCAA tournament, no, I mean, I value that. Yes, it's what. Here's the thing. You win in there, you get all the praise. You lose, you're just part of March Madness. You're a victim, right?
Right.
I don't know if that's right or not, but that's how I view it. Like Ohio State losing, it sucked. It was unfortunate, but I was just like, man, they got bit by the upset bug this year. Every year we see teams get upset, but I don't think it changes the trajectory of the program. Upsetting teams can change the trajectory of your program. I don't know if getting upset can change the trajectory of your program. That's kind of how I view it. I'm on the fence with it.
I'm on the other side, man. And I know people aren't going to like this because we're in Big Ten country and everything like that. But, the fact that the Big Ten Conference has not won a national championship in 20 plus years is pretty embarrassing. That was the Mateen Cleaves year. That Michigan State.
They got upset that year too. They got upset.
By a little school in Fairborn.
Yeah, Wright State Raiders beat that national championship.
That means we were the national champions right that year, right?
That's how we do it, right?
but I did a little deep dive. So since 2000, Big Ten has had one national champion, ACC 8, SEC 3, Big East 7. And every year, the Big Ten has so many teams in March Madness, but we seem as a conference not to get it done. And I'm not like a Big Ten conference guy. I'm not an ACC guy because my team plays in the ACC. I'm my team guy. I root for Ohio State and I root for Syracuse. I really don't care what happens to the other teams outside of, getting my bracket right, which is totally wrong, by the way. So I do put I do put a lot of credence into how a conference does in March Madness, and the ultimate prize is obviously winning the national championship, and the Big Ten hasn't won one in 20 years. That is alarming, because if this was football, we would be over the moon. Like, what's going on? We would be screaming at every program that's in the conference, like, what are you doing wrong? But since we have Ohio State, who's constantly in the playoff talk, constantly in the playoff championship race, we're cool with the fact that, like, all right, man, it's been 6 years. We might need to get another one, though. But, like, it's been 20 years and I only got one.
Let me ask you this. Of all the national championships that exist, pro and college, the least valued to me is the college basketball national championship. I can't even tell you who won the last 5. I mean, I could, but the casual fan couldn't. Right. I could tell you the last 5 college football champions. Right. I feel like the national championship in football is bigger than the national championship in basketball. For instance, the biggest part of the tournament is the first weekend.
Right.
And I feel like because, like, so in college football, you are playing to get to the playoff, and that's it. In college basketball, you're playing to get to the tournament, then you're playing to get to the round of 32, then the Sweet 16, the Elite 8. Coaches can have these amazing, legendary resumes with 1 to no national championships, right? Bob Huggins, like 900 plus wins, how many Sweet 16s, how many Elite 8s, Final Fours? He's one of the best of all time, right? Not in the Hall of Fame. That's what I'm still trying to figure out, but that's a conversation for later. So I feel like in college, there is so many more boxes that you could check as a coach in a program because of the success of regular season title, conference tournament title, Elite 8s, Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, Final Fours. Those are 5 things right there that coaches could just gobble up before even getting to a national championship, and we put them up, we consider them great, right? So to me, I think that's why the national championship game in college basketball is valued less than a World Series, an NBA championship, a Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, college football national championship. I do. I think it's valued at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like I think because so many people check out, like after this weekend, we're going to pay attention to next weekend. And then a lot of people just kind of check out of it. The madness is done. If you're a diehard, you're going to love the bigger matchups. You're going to love the 1s versus 2s, 3s versus 4s. I don't know if there's going to be any. Yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, so to rebuttal that, the reason I don't feel like the Big Ten gets as much criticism for that is because every year we talk about, look how many teams made the tournament. Look how many teams made it to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, how many conference tournaments, the great coaches.
But shouldn't that mean if you got more teams in it, you should have more? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You have more teams in it. That means you have more opportunities.
Tell that to the SEC in football, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that they only have 1 team that's won one in the 7 years that it has existed. No, I'm with you. Or no, 2. LSU. Yeah. My bad. Joey B. Easy. Relax.
Be nice.
Joe Burrow.
Be nice. I just look at it and I see that the ACC has 8 since 2000. That's crazy. And you look at the Big East, they have 7, and they had a mass exodus of programs. You're talking about titles, right? Yeah, of titles.
Well, finish your point.
And then you have a mass exodus of teams. So you have the exodus of Syracuse, UConn, and Louisville. Oh yeah, guess what? You guys are gone. Villanova, they just won 2. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at these programs and say, we here in Big Ten country wave the flag about the Big Ten, about how big and bad we are. And we got Luka Garza, and we got Juwan Howard coming back to that team up north. And we're this, we're that.
Coburn
and all these things. But, ultimately we're not getting it done because in college basketball, and I'm with you, in college basketball, those markers, those Sweet 16s, those Elite 8s, those are like things that people wave the flag for. But guess what? In college football, if you make it to the college football playoff and don't win it, nobody cares.
Because nobody made it to the playoff.
Yeah, I'm saying nobody cares unless you bring it home.
See, okay.
Like they raise banners for making it to the Final Four. That's a heck of an accomplishment. But Ohio State, they're not happy that they made it to the championship game and got blew out by Alabama. They're not happy with that. But Ohio State, when they lost to Florida in the national championship game with Odin and the guys, they got the banner hanging at the shoe.
And so to that point, that is why the championship game, it's an afterthought. It's an afterthought.
Well, should it be? Because isn't that what we're playing for, to win it all?
I just think we not overhype. We hype so many achievements throughout the season.
I got you.
You know, we overhype or we hype up the non-conference record. Man, look what they did against North Carolina and Kentucky, if we're talking Power Fives. Non-Power Five. Man, look what a mid-major team. Man, they got some wins over some Power Fives. So right there, we start with checking off that box. And then in the conference season, they won their conference regular season title. Okay, check, another accomplishment. Man, this is a memorable season. They win their conference tournament, another memorable season. They upset a high seed in the first round of the tournament. Oh crap! Now they're going to the Sweet 16. Oh man. But then they get blown out by 50 in their next game. But then we're always going to remember that. Remember
what a run,
Kev. I'm telling you, we say this all the. Remember that? That Elite Eight Dayton team.
Yeah,
we talk about that. That team didn't win a national championship, but that Elite Eight is so special to this city that it is as special to this city as what a national championship is to Duke or anybody else, right?
So you think how
football doesn't have that?
How I used to think, where we put way too much onus on the tournament. Like the average fan doesn't check in until conference championship time. Like, all right, let me see how the guys are doing. Let me get ready, my brackets ready and everything like that. Like, people don't check in all the way. And especially this year, in a COVID year where ratings in just about every sport are down outside of football, I don't think people were really watching a ton of college basketball like that. So I just think, there's so much onus put on the tournament. That's the only thing that matters.
The tournament is bigger than the championship game. The playoff, the college football playoff is not bigger than the national title game. But the NCAA tournament, for instance, for me, a Wright State fan, Wright State's never going to win a national championship. I mean,
watch your tongue.
50 years from now, who knows what? I'm just saying, as of right now, Wright State will never win a national championship. I'm not going into next year thinking, man, Wright State, Coach Nagy, they have a national they have a tournament team. It's just do you have a tournament team? Do you think that team's tournament good? That's what we say. We don't say title good. We say tournament good. There are more opportunities for the small schools like Wright State to have benchmarks that make you a respectable program. Not in college football. If you're Bowling Green football, what do you have? Like, you know what I mean?
Championship.
But no one, with all due respect, no one respects the MAC champion. It's just, it's Bowling Green. Well, you hear that they got all these 5 stars over the next couple of years, man. Bowling Green's gonna be good. They might be a national title contender. Now all of a sudden it changes. Man, Bowling Green's so good. They're gonna win their conference. Are they gonna make the playoff? No. Okay. But they'll be in a good bowl game. New Year's Day? No. Okay. Like, I just think in college basketball, making the tournament is big. I mean, Thad Matta got ripped because he didn't make the tournament. And then we changed what we ripped because now Chris Holtman comes in, 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances. And now there's people out there who are ripping him because that upset. Let me ask you this. Should coaches be on the hot seat for losing games like that? 2 versus 15s, 1 versus 16s, 3 versus 14s, and so on?
No.
I agree.
No, like I saw everything that went down, obviously with coach and the players as well on social media, and with Shaka Smart at Texas and everything like that. People are starting to wonder about him and everything like that. You really think Shaka Smart forgot how to coach basketball? You really think Chris Holtman doesn't know how to coach basketball? The other team comes to play too. They're out there to win it too. So it's not how it was, man. It's just not. Like, it's just not how it was when Texas had TJ Ford and all these guys who stuck around for their sophomore and junior year. These elite dudes ain't sticking around. We just saw one of the elite guys who's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, Cade Cunningham. That was his last game. He gave it his all. But guess what? He's not going to be there next year. And that's just the way it is, man. And sooner we all realize that, we can enjoy college basketball again, because the reality of it is the guys playing who are still sticking around, like, you know what I'm saying, Luka Garza, who's a senior this year and everything like that, he stuck around. But guess what? Yeah, he got basically 40 points tonight. They still lost by 15. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of people out there that's playing basketball, and, the levels ain't that far, especially if you're sticking around for your senior year. If you sticking around for your senior year from the Big Ten Conference and the dude is sticking around for his senior year from the WAC, y'all probably about the same level. Y'all not that far in skill and ability.
Shaw says, I don't think there should be death threats, but you have that big job. Talking about the coach, you have that. He thinks the coaches should be on the hot seat for losing those games. He says, but you have that big job and all that money. Your job is to win that game. Yes and no. Your job is to get the team to the end. All ADs care about, and it changes school to school, but making the tournament. Making the tournament has been like the biggest month of the year. You get more exposure in this one little weekend than at any other point throughout the year. I see what you're saying, Shaw. I think, Shaw, to be honest, no, I do not. I disagree with you. A 2 losing to a 15, you should not be on the hot seat. Now, you string together a couple of years of, Ohio State's constantly being upset in the 2 versus 15 or the 3 versus 14. Then maybe. But are you kidding me? Thad Matta was going downhill. The Buckeyes weren't making the tournament. They were an afterthought. Right. Chris Holtmann comes in 4 straight damn NCAA tournament appearances. Recruiting is through the roof for Ohio State. They were, a 2 seed. You do 3 months of work in one bad outing, and now he's on the hot seat. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's why I can't jump on board.
You look at Virginia, Tony Bennett. They lost to a 16 seed, UMBC. The next year, they're national champions. I'm not about to jump off the deep end and say Chris Holtmann should be on the hot seat because they lost his game at all. It's just, that is March Madness. Because if this would have happened in November, if they would have lost to Oral Roberts in November, everybody would be like, dang, we lost to Oral Roberts. It's all good. We got a long season to get better.
Ohio State beat Cleveland State by 10.
Right.
They played horrible against Cleveland State, and this was that was the Cleveland State team who gave up a 40-0 run. So they played Ohio and Ohio State back-to-back games. Ohio went on a 40-0 run against Cleveland State. The very next game, they almost beat Ohio State. So things happen, but I don't know. Shaw says, wrong one. Making the tournament is not good enough at Ohio State or Texas. Yes, it is. It is. For a program that hasn't, when's the last time Ohio State's won a national championship? How is a team that hasn't won a title in decades, all of a sudden, they're a program that is, not just good enough to make? The expectation is to make the tournament and go on runs, but it's March Madness. We can't sit there and say, I love March Madness because of all the upsets, but then be critical of the upsets. You can't have it both ways. It just can't happen. All right, you've hit the outro music on multiple occasions. So we're going to step away. Just a reminder, if you want to win $1,000 or have a chance to win $1,000, head to wingam.com and enter the winning word BUZZ, BUZZ. It's the winning word for the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway right here on 1410 Wing AM. We'll step away for a few moments. I see the SEC Commissioner Daryl McKinney chiming in there. I'll definitely get to his takes coming up here in a moment, but I want to talk about the E.J. Liddell situation. Fan is short for fanatic. I get it, but here's the deal. That wasn't a fan, and we're going to talk about that on the other side. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to blame. I'm not blaming social media for this. There's one outlet out there that is solely responsible for fan behavior right now, and we'll talk about that when we come back.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
DSC. There are so many razors out there. How do you choose which one's right for you? Well, at Dollar Shave Club, we got you. With a 6-blade cartridge for daily shavers with short hair and a 4-blade cartridge for less frequent shavers with longer hair. Still confused? Well, we put both blades in one new starter box, so you can test drive both. Check out dollarshaveclub.com/ESPN, dollarshaveclub.com/ESPN, and visit DSC at your nearest store. You've got questions, we got answers. Welcome to the club.
Now at a store near you.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Want to buy your own home but think you can't afford it? What if you got down payment assistance or a discounted interest rate just for being a recent college grad, teacher, nurse, or veteran? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency offers this and more, and our programs are always available for eligible Ohioans, big city, small town, and everywhere in between. Find out if you qualify at myohiohome.org. That's myohiohome.org. Home ownership, ready when you are.
March is the best time of year for basketball and the best time to buy your next pre-owned vehicle. Hurry in and join the madness and let Drive One Car and Truck in Springfield show you how to save hundreds, even thousands on your next pre-owned vehicle. And almost every vehicle comes with a platinum 6-month certified warranty. 2 locations in Springfield and over 80 top-notch pre-owned vehicles. Call 505-3653 or 717-9000. Hurry, don't dribble, drive to Drive One Car and Truck and get your next vehicle.
Update your home's exterior with new siding and get 11% off everything at Menards. Timbercrest Premium Double 4-inch vinyl siding is engineered to be durable, 15% thicker, and has the look of natural cedar siding. It has a limited lifetime warranty and is available in 9 colors. $679 per 12.5-foot piece after 11% off. Good through March 27th. Savings or mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you ready for the real madness? It's the online Miami Valley Fortnite tournament, brought to you by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and Connect Esports. Area youth ages 9 to 17 are invited to compete Saturday, April 10th, with a max of 99 players. Prizes will include passes for you and a group of friends to the Connect Esports console room, along with a giant Lee's Party pack of food or a brand new PlayStation 5. You must live within the Miami Valley to participate. For complete contest rules and to register, check out the events tab at connectesports.com.
OHMB 803342 and MLS 304138. Do you need help with a loan to purchase or refinance your home? Have you applied for a home loan and been told you do not qualify for a loan? Are you a first-time buyer and have questions regarding the home buying process? Are you considering refinancing your existing home? Do you live in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Florida, or South Carolina? If you answered yes to any of the above questions, you need to call Forrest Ferris at 3rd Street Financial Home Loans at 513-320-5911, who is available 7 days a week to help you. We're 3rd Street Financial Home Loans, and Forrest Ferris specializes in approving home loans banks and other lenders cannot or will not approve. Some of our clients might have low credit scores, been through a divorce, want to buy a home for sale by owner, are in a land contract, or dealing with probate or estate homes. Call Forrest now for a free estimate. 513-320-5911. That's 513-320-5911. Offer valid for purchase or refinancing of homes located in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Florida, and South Carolina only. Minimum loan amount $60,000. Limitations and restrictions apply.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are powerful. You're a warrior who bathes in your enemy's tears. Then you step out of that refreshing tear bath and into a bathrobe that somehow looks good on you. Yeah, you can pull off a robe. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you save money for driving safely with Snapshot from Progressive. Savings you can use to buy more robes. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Of course, we have everything you need for that big brake job. Right now, you can save 15% when you buy any Duralast brake pads and any 2 Duralast rotors. It's a great way to save while you take on the full job. Oh, and one tip. Go for a nice, easy drive after you finish the job. It'll help break in your new brakes. For more tips, visit AutoZone.com/DIY. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
Who hasn't been wronged by bad breakfast? Ditch the stale breakfast sandwiches and get tasty made-to-order sandwiches like the Breakfast Baconator and the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, only at participating Wendy's.
Procter & Gamble, the company behind some of your favorite brands like Tide and Charmin and Pampers, is now hiring entry-level technicians at the Dayton Distribution Center. P&G is offering a competitive pay rate of $16.44 per hour for 8 and 12-hour rotating shifts, plus an additional per-hour rotating shift incentive. P&G offers a comprehensive benefit package on day one, including medical, dental, and 401k. For more information, visit pgcareers.com. Search for Dayton and apply today. Procter & Gamble is an equal opportunity employer.
Congratulations to the Centerville Elks boys basketball team. For the first time in school history, the Elks reached the OHSAA Division I Boys State Tournament and sealed the deal for their first ever state title. Congratulations from Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hi, my name is Brian Summers, and I'm an attorney with Kirkland Sommers. We are a law firm dedicated to divorce and family law. We have 2 locations serving Miami Valley, one near Austin Landing and the other in Troy. Remember, we're not part-time divorce and family lawyers. We're full-time here for you.
Kirkland Sommers, trusted and experienced, a family law practice dedicated to serving you. Visit them online at kirklandandsummers.com. That's Summers with an O, kirklandandsummers.com.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business and powered by Intel Core processors. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more. All with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. Again, that's 877-ASK-DELL.
So we're sitting here with one of New Jersey's prodigal sons, the boss, my friend, Bruce Springsteen. It's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you also. You and I have spent a lot of time talking about what it means to be a good man.
Our audience looked at us and saw the America that they wanted to believe in.
We come from such different places. It turns out there's a lot of overlap.
Renegades, born in the USA, a new Spotify original podcast from Higher Ground. Listen free only on Spotify.
Save up to $300 on top-rated brands like Sealy and Sleepy's at Mattress Firm right now. And you can get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 or more. Shop now.
We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
And into the end zone goes Chris Olave. KJ Hill, 6-yard touchdown catch. Right sideline and down he goes to the end zone.
WING 1410 Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's live, it's local, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland Sommers.
We focus so much on the teams that don't win in March, you know, the madness, right? That sometimes we need to take some time and enjoy the teams that are winning. Congratulations to the Centerville Elks on winning their very first ever boys basketball state championship last night at UD Arena. Again, program that's never won a regional championship. They checked that off. Never been to a state tournament. They checked that off. Never won a state championship in boys basketball. They checked that off as well. It was a busy weekend for Coach Cups, but him and the Centerville Elks did it, man. Congratulations. I'm happy for them. And that's cool. So for them, it was their first state tournament appearance as well as the Westerville Central. I think that's who they beat last night. It was their first tournament appearance as well. So I thought that was pretty cool when you have teams like that, when you know you're about to crown a new champion. We have talked about it in the past. That regional is so damn tough, and you go to all the Catholic schools out of Cleveland and Cincinnati, Columbus, and others. And Centerville always runs into those teams, and they've had some very good teams over the last couple of years, but they were able to get the job done, man. That's so damn cool. Congratulations, cussing, talking about a high school team winning a state championship. No one would expect anything different from Kinder other than that. But yes, shout out to the Centerville Elks. That's awesome. And Cup's son's on the team too. Yeah. Like, it's special to win a state championship, but to do it with your kid on the team, man, like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I was there last night watching the game. I told you my best friend, his son is on the team. Him and his wife were there. My wife was there. And, you know, I'm stressing out, so I can only imagine how his parents were feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching them bite their nails and just be so intense on the game and everything like that. And Trey, he's like 6'8", and it's down to the last 2 seconds of the game. And I'm thinking, like, shouldn't they put like the tallest guy on the ball? And of course, coach does that and puts Trey on there and, you know, causes havoc with them long arms and legs. And, you know, they put up the shot and everybody does that lean as the ball's in the air because, you know, anything can happen when the ball's in the air. It hit the rim, bounced off. Elks are the champs.
And 43-42 was the final. They win.
Don't get no closer than that.
They win their first state, championship with that. It's funny. So Keith Byers over the weekend, and I forgot what year it was that Roth won their boys basketball state championship as well. But Keith is adamant. And again, I wasn't alive to watch it, but he's adamant that his state championship Roth team that he said he tells you how to say, he goes, I didn't start. He goes, I came off the bench. But Byers was like, that team was as good as LeBron's team. Like, he felt like it is one of the best teams of all time in the state of Ohio. He is that confident about it. And those listening that know, I'm not saying I don't believe him. I'm just saying, like, I found that fascinating because I didn't know. So, but what was fascinating is his team averaged 84 points a game when there was no 3-point line back then.
Goodness gracious.
And you have 3-point lines, and Centerville won a lot of very close games throughout this tournament, especially in the regional. They won a close one in the 40s. They won the state championship, one possession game in the 40s. Good for them, man. Like, that's pretty cool.
I saw the picture that Byers posted of the guys back in their heyday in high school and everything like that. And, you know, they look like grown men. They look like grown men in high school, and I'm looking at the young men that are out there.
Yeah, Byers look like a 35-year-old. Like,
I'm looking at the young men out there last night. Like, they look like teenagers. They look like teenage kids and everything like that, young adults. But not Byers' team. Byers' team look like full-grown men out there. So, I would like to see it. I would like to see a what-if version of them play a basketball game.
Well, another game we're following right now in the NCAA tournament. It's the NCAA women's tournament. Wright State was up big at 1 point over 4-seed Arkansas. They now trail 59-58 with 1:30 to go. Arkansas just hit a big three. Wright State misses. Arkansas now going at the other end after the foul. So this is what I get for turning it. I'm telling you, I am a curse when it comes to basketball.
And turn it off, please.
It's off. I've already turned it off. It's brutal. But nonetheless, just one more time, a shout out to the Centerville Elks again. Congratulations to them. That's a big accomplishment. I mean, it doesn't matter what level it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, boys, girls, basketball, doesn't matter. State championship, doesn't matter what sport. Championship's a championship. And the Elks are the Division I OHSAA boys state champions. So shout out to Coach Cups and his team, because that was pretty cool. Plus, they did it at UD Arena.
How cool is that?
It's one thing. Like, for me, I'm adamant. I want the state tournament in Columbus at the Shot. Like, that's just me because I grew up watching it there. But if you're going to win a state championship, to do it in the city you live in is pretty dang cool too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, every other time it's in Columbus, and think about it like that. Westerville, they would have been quote unquote at home up there in Columbus. So, tables turned a little bit.
All right, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers, right here on Dayton's ESPN radio station 1410 Wing AM. By the way, it's crazy. What is today, the 22nd? We're just a few weeks away from opening day.
Wow.
And that's why I said the second the Buckeyes lost, I said, you know what? On to baseball season, on to Reds, on to another team to break my heart. Why don't you? I mean, that's where we're at right now when it comes to that. But we'll transition more into baseball stuff here in the coming weeks. But keep in mind, we are just a few weeks away from Major League Baseball opening day. April 1st, though, Reds in the cards. What just happened?
3.
Who?
Just hit a 3. Wright State.
Wright State? Oh, they're up now.
61-60, just hit a 3.
Okay. I'm trying to see that. They're at a minute. They're up one with a minute to go. Come on now. And they're down again. See, I turned it on. I'm telling you, like, it's horrible. Okay, you got to understand, Kev. Every upset I picked was wrong. 3 of my final 4 teams are out. I had a Big Ten Invitational. I preached up Iona. All right. I owe a lot of money thanks to Iona because I was so confident that they were going to get it done. I predicted Cleveland State, which, whatever. I predict every year I always say the Horizon League school is going to win because eventually they're going to, and then it's going to look, man, Kidder really knows what the hell he's talking about. So there's that. But man, it's real. What's his name? Howard, Ron Howard. He used to call it the curse of the Kinner. No matter what, Schlemmer called it the curse of the Kinner. It's real, man.
Apparently,
it is absolutely real. Something that happened over the weekend in the Buckeyes' loss. Unfortunately, following the Buckeyes' loss, Liddell for Ohio State posted some death threats, and it was just a vile message on social media. What just happened?
Another 3.
I'm not turning it back on. I turn it back on, they're going to give up the lead. What just happened?
64-62. Angel Baker just hit a 3.
So now it's 67, 62?
No, it's 64,
okay.
62.
So they're about to get the no. Listen, it's been a tough couple weeks for me, Kev. It started out with the men's team up 24 points with 6.5 minutes to go, 6:15 to be exact, and they give that up and lose. Their season just went kaput. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. By the way,
this is probably not the best way to do a radio show.
1410 ESPN Radio. You heard 1410. You're probably like 1410. Isn't that the Dayton Flyers record? No, it's 1410 ESPN Radio, and it is their record. By the way, they lost against Memphis over the weekend. Jalen Crutcher played his final game with the Flyers. He will be with Memphis next year. I'm calling it now. So
that's right.
That.
He does have an extra year eligibility, right?
Damn right. And he was. That's the whole broadcast. But it was a Memphis. It was a home game for Memphis. They had the home broadcasters. I mean, it is what it is. It is. I mean, that's all. It was Jalen Crutcher. Not about him with the Flyers. It was just about his relationship with Memphis. And by the way, that they do go way back. I'm not poking fun at that. I'm not really poking fun at anything. I was just like, okay, enough. Call it for both teams. They were just it was all Memphis. It was just all about Memphis and their run through the regular season and how they were going to be a tournament team last year. I'm like, they were giving more hype to the team that was going to be a tournament team that wasn't even close to being as good as the Dayton Flyers last year. It was driving me up the wall. That's right, Flyers fans. I got your back. That's what I do. That's
how crazy the world is right now.
So anyway, back to this real quick. Liddell gets those death threats or whatever, gets those horrible messages. And that's nothing new for these players, unfortunately. But Kev, what I'm learning is that sometimes these messages, there is an entity that is taking over sports right now, that it is not fandom, it is sports gambling.
Mm-hmm.
These death threats that are coming in, that didn't sound like Kev, I'm not going to lie. I was pissed. I was throwing stuff in my house. I was furious that Ohio State lost to Oral Roberts. But at no point did I have anger directed at anybody. My anger wasn't directed at Chris Holtman. My anger wasn't directed at Liddell or Washington or Arns or anybody, Kev. It was just anger that my team lost. You know that pit you get in your stomach when your team loses? It's a horrible pit. And so when I read that guy's message, I'm like, you know what? You know what that sounds like? When you mess with someone's money, Kev, you get some mean, horrible, nasty reactions from people, right?
You know why I believe that what it was as well? There weren't any slurs in there. There were just a lot. I mean, there were some slurs in there, but it wasn't that, go-to slur for black folks. There wasn't the N-bomb in there. There was other slurs that were in there that tried to insult people. And I believe you're right, because the normal quote-unquote fanatic or whatever, they would go to that card and they would go to different things about you. They were just strictly mad because they lost money.
That's what it is. So when people I'm surprised I didn't see that take more on social media over the weekend was, oh man, that he's not a fan. He's not a fan. I agree with you. He's not a fan. That was not a fan. I don't think it's a fan at all. If you follow social media, and again, I'm bringing them up again. Wright State, there's not a mass following of Wright State. We know that, right?
Right.
But if you look at their social media reaction after a game, Kev, there's a lot of pissed off people after a loss, and you start clicking on the profile. I do this all the time, and I talk with people at Wright State all the time that tell me, oh, yeah, their social media gets blown up by sports gamblers. And a lot of small schools that happens with. Right. A lot of small schools, it's sports gamblers gone wrong. So I find it interesting that, so when if I watch a Wright State social media account after they gave up that 24-point lead and lost to Milwaukee in the conference tournament, they were getting destroyed on social media. And I started clicking on the profiles of some of these people. They're in Arkansas, they're in Texas, they're in California, they're from all over. I'm like, what the hell do these people care about some team in Fairborn for? And it's all about gambling. It is all about sports gambling. And I'm not saying that there's not horrible fans out there that do this, but I've noticed an uptick in this social media type of reaction. There is anger, like, what the hell, man? You can't make a free throw. And then there's going for the jugular because he probably just cost you a good chunk of money.
Right.
That's what it was personal. When you make it personal, that individual, we see how personal it gets in fantasy football.
Yeah.
And and I hear people all the time, how could you get mad about fantasy football? It's just a game. It's money. Fantasy football, there's a lot of money on the line. I know, because I'm stupid. Nora gets mad at me every year. How many fantasy teams do you have? How many fantasy things are you getting involved in? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, just don't worry about it. If I win, it's fine. Well, it's never fine. So trust me, I know. I know that anger that comes out when you lose when the team that you bet on to win loses, and you're like, what the hell? You just go into a rage. I've never done what that idiot did, but I'm just saying a lot of the reactions you're seeing across the board, it is not fandom. It is not angry fans, Kev. It is angry sports bettors. And I'm very surprised we have not come across more of that side of it, because I love sports gambling. I can't wait when Ohio catches up with, some of the other great states out there that have it. But there is that side to it. It's a very ugly side. And that's my fear and concern moving forward. I think that this is only going to get worse. You're going to see more of this. But go read those messages, folks. That's not an angry Buckeye fan mad that his favorite team lost. That is a piece of crap who bet a lot of money on a team and that team lost and he made it personal. Because, Kev, you know what happens when my team loses? Damn Browns, stupid Cleveland Browns, typical Browns. Man, the Browns suck. I'm so sick of being a Browns fan. I'm not attacking an individual player, right? But that's what happens. Kickers get destroyed the most because why? Games are on the line.
All you do is kick.
Yeah. Kickers, receivers, quarterbacks are in football. They get destroyed the most. And in basketball, it's the guy that misses the free throw. It's the guy that misses the last shot. It's the guy that turned it over, right? So it is what it is.
Yeah, and EJ Liddell had a hell of a game, man.
He did. He's a damn sophomore. First team Big Tens.
23 points and 14 rebounds. Yeah, he missed the free throw. Look, man, these things happen. And like you said, these people aren't fans of the Buckeyes. They're not Buckeye fans. They're not college basketball fans. They are money fans, and they're gambling addicts out there who just lost a lot of money. And you know what? Serves them right.
Yeah, that's interesting nonetheless. But by the way, real quick, an update. It's fourth quarter, 11 seconds left. Wright State women's team's in the NCAA tournament. They are up 64-62. There's 9 seconds left. They're dribbling it out. She gets fouled. I'm turning it back off. But we got to have a local team here get an NCAA tournament win. This would be the first win in their first tournament win in program history, man. That's pretty damn cool. All right, folks, we'll step away for a few moments. We're going to undo the phone lines. We're going to open those up, and then we'll go back to reading the social media responses. I'm curious people's thoughts on that. How many of you out there actually partake in sports gambling? And I'm not talking about putting your damn mortgage on the line. I just mean like in general. Do you do $10? I mean, and by the way, I don't do anything heavy like that. I mean, I'm a $5, $10 guy. Like I live in that. I swim in the shallow end. I hold on to the side. So if the water starts getting deep, I can hold back on so I don't drown, right? Like that's, but it's still fascinating to me. So I'm just curious people's thoughts on, do you believe that's a crazy fan, or a sports game? I think it's a sports gambler. We'll be back in a moment. 457-9464. Don't go anywhere.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Mostly sunny and warm today as the temp climbs to 69. Partly cloudy tonight, low 44. The clouds thicken up tomorrow with a high temp of 67. We'll hit the low 70s on Wednesday, although there is a chance of rain. I'm John Bailey for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hi, my name is Brian Summers, and I'm an attorney with Kirkland Sommers. We are a law firm dedicated to divorce and family law. We have 2 locations serving Miami Valley, one near Austin Landing and the other in Troy. Remember, we're not part-time divorce and family lawyers. We're full-time here for you.
Kirkland Sommers, trusted and experienced, a family law practice dedicated to serving you. Visit them online at kirklandandsummers.com. That's Summers with an O, kirklandandsummers.com.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exergen.com, where accuracy matters.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
KTH Parts Industries in St. Paris, Ohio has immediate openings for second and third shift production associates. KTH promotes from within, offers an attractive benefits package including medical, dental, 401k, attendance bonus, and a competitive wage, starting at just over $17 per hour with annual increases. During the month of March, KTH will be hosting walk-in interviews every day from 7:30 a.m. through 3 p.m. Please bring a resume and photo ID to apply or see other career opportunities at kth.net. KTH is an equal opportunity employer.
The energy in Skyline is one of a kind, and I love that. When a smiling face is greeting you and they want to give you a great experience, they want to make you feel like you're part of their family. Skyline does a wonderful job of that. When you think of Skyline Chili, you think of like being with your friends and your family. It's just a whole experience when we go to Skyline. We love the friendliness, just being together, that family unit. We were happy, so happy to be at Skyline.
Hi, this is Eddie Sorrell, Body Shop Manager at Germain Honda of Beaver Creek. When you need a dependable body shop, we're here to help, repairing all makes and models. Our technicians have over 125 years experience. That means we can repair your vehicle quickly and efficiently. Our department is state-of-the-art with new equipment to get you back on the road quickly. We offer loaner cars during service and free estimates. Germain Honda of Beaver Creek, Route 35, just east of 675 between Xenia and Beaver Creek.
I'm Terry Krupp of Laird's Tax and Accounting, serving this area's tax and accounting needs for over 80 years. If you have concerns about your tax return, we invite you to discover how we can make your tax filing experience easier. If you had a difficult experience in the past, our professional staff can provide the accurate return you want with maximum use of all legitimate deductions. Laird's Tax and Accounting is a trusted name and stands behind your return if the IRS calls. Contact us at 937-325-6571. Information at lairdstax.com.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get up to 90 days of service free via virtual rebate on your business plan. You get a great deal, the largest 5G network, and first-class benefits like Microsoft 365 on us. It's better for business and only with T-Mobile for Business. Limited time offer. Stop in store for details. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Virtual Express MasterCard within 8 weeks of receipt of valid submission. Complete port within 60 days. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices, coverage, and plan details.
Who hasn't been wronged by bad breakfast? Ditch the stale breakfast sandwiches and get tasty made-to-order sandwiches like the Breakfast Baconator and the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit, only at participating Wendy's.
The madness is officially here. It's the Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge, presented by Orion Sports Medicine and Frickers. $100 in Frickers bucks to the overall winner. Plus, you could win $1 million by filling out the perfect bracket. Submit your Basketball Mayhem tournament bracket at wingam.com. All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hi, everybody. We welcome you back. March Madness. The madness, more times than not, more so exists in the men's tournament than the women's tournament. We were talking about that earlier. I'm like, I'm not a women's basketball aficionado per se, but upsets don't happen in the women's tournament, at least to the level of which we see in the men's tournament, right? And that has not been the case. In fact, yesterday, Kev, 16 of the higher seeds won yesterday. There was no upsets in the women's tournament yesterday. 2 upsets already today, including Wright State's women's team just in their 3rd NCAA tournament appearance. They just picked up their very first NCAA tournament win in program history. They just beat Arkansas 66-62, the final. Angel Baker finished with 26 points, 12 rebounds, 4 steals. And, in a year where not a whole lot of local representation in the NCAA tournament, the women picking up the slack for everybody. So shout out to Coach Katrina Merriweather, one of the best out there. She's won multiple Coach of the Years. She took over for a coach that led the Raiders to their first NCAA tournament appearance years ago. And since then, she's taken them to 2 tournament appearances, including their first win today. good for them. I mean, you just don't see upsets in the women's game. You just don't. So it's like when you punch your ticket out of a mid-major on the women's side, it's like, well, that's your accomplishment. Congratulations. But to get this win, that's huge. And that program is just taking step after step. And this is a big one today. So shout out to the Raiders.
Going to be leading Sports Center tonight. Angel Baker, 26
You think it'll be
points.
leading Sports Center, huh? Just leading Sports Center.
I can't wait.
It's upsets galore, man. And that's pretty dang cool. But man, I'm happy for them. That's a big win for that program and a much needed one just for locally in general right now. Just looking for those tournament successes right now. Not a lot of them. They provided that. So shout out to them again. But good for them. That's pretty dang cool. I wasn't expecting that. I'm not going to lie. I ain't being mean here. I'm just saying I didn't expect that. Like I said, there's just upsets don't happen. Upsets do not happen. And as often, I'm not saying they never happen, that it's impossible, but they just don't happen to that degree. That's pretty damn cool. Shout out to them. 457-9464 to the Facebook feed, and that's the number to call in. We're going to go now to the Facebook reaction too. Just with what we're talking about when it comes to that EJ Liddell, the messaging thing, that's not the last we're going to see that.
Mm-mm.
And like I said, to me, that wasn't a fan. I don't even think that was an Ohio State fan. I can't even find the guy on social media. I went to go try to find because I'm always interested when I see people who are overreacting like that on social media. I'm like, man, something's triggered them. They're not just mad that their team lost. It's money and it's sports gamblers. And you click on their feed and it's like they don't have any mention of the team that they're angry at for losing. And any of you know how fans are, Buckeye fan, Bengals fan, Browns fan. Everyone always has that in their little social media, info thing. Nothing. So that's how I know that this dude is just a psychomaniac. The police had to get involved, by the way.
Good.
And it should be. And by the way, I thought it was so badass. Ryan Day's coming out and trying to keep. Because these guys, I'm telling you right now, these athletes are not robots. They are not. They don't get put away in a closet or in a shelf after a game, and then they get taken out for the next game. Like, these are human beings. And if you think as fans you feel bad about a loss for your team, I can't even imagine what goes through the stomachs and the hearts and the minds of these players on game day when their season comes to an end.
Right.
I can't imagine the pain that Obi Toppin and the Flyers a year ago felt when they were told, guys, there's no NCAA tournament.
Right.
Everything you did all year was to build to get to this point. The pain that athletes feel in sports, it's like as bad as it is, it could be that good though with the highs of sports of when you're winning and when you're experiencing, road success and tournament success and just the ESPN, the national games and everything like that. I just can't imagine. So to go at a player after a game and to say, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
And especially names, it's disgusting. Like, I can't believe I've been angry. I've been mad at my teams. I've thrown things. I've thrown my phone through a wall in years past because a team of mine did not win when I wanted them to win. But I have never felt like I need to pick up my phone to go at an athlete before. That is absolutely crazy to me.
Especially in basketball in high school and in college where it is a one and done situation. A lot of people really watch the NBA in the playoffs. There's a series. So you kind of see it coming, when your team's down, 3-0. All right, well, we're just going to go out here, play the fiddle and get this last loss and the season to be over. It's kind of, it goes through the motions. But when it's a one and done situation, you have one opportunity to win or you go home. That's what makes March Madness so epic. So these players, man, they put everything on the line, not only to win for themselves, win for their teammates and win for their fans and everything like that. To have a person out there in their mentions and in their DMs threaten their lives and all these types of crazy things they're saying to them. At first, I thought to myself, is this just a troll out here? Just, watch the game. He had a little office pool and he has decided to jump in, EJ's DMs and everything like that. And then you obviously brought up the gambling aspect, which I didn't even think about. It makes total sense. Because, the typical troll stuff, just people, you lost.
I lead the troll parade, baby. Like, I teach I'm waiting for colleges to reach out and say, hey, Kenner, will you, we want to start a trolling 101 class, and we thought you'd be perfect to teach that class. I'm still waiting for that. But trust me, I know a troll when I see one. That piece of trash was not a troll. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man, it's devastating, man. You get the usual people in your comments laughing. You lost, you suck. suck, and all that type of stuff is fine. But there is a line that you don't cross. When you go to a game and you buy your ticket to a game, you have every right as a fan to boo and scream as loud as you can. But the whole name calling, the talking about people's families and everything like that is totally uncalled for, man. And I don't understand where it got to where people feel like they could just say anything to anybody at any time just because, hey, man, I bought my ticket. I can say whatever I want to LeBron James. I can flip him off with the bird all I want. It's cool, right? I'm a fan. I bought my ticket. No, because guess what? If you saw LeBron James walking down the street and you did that and he decided to punch you in your face, then what? LeBron James is 6'8", 270 pounds.
I mean, that would be pretty cool, though. Hey, Kinner's here. Kinner, come here. Tell him about that time LeBron punched you in the face. Oh, man, it was awesome, man. But no. But the sad thing is that exists, too, where guys try to get you riled up so they could be a part of something that involves you. For instance, I know I was at a casino in Cincinnati years ago, and Perfect was there at the casino. And where we were playing, we're at the table and everything, and we hear these guys over there, like these guys are just hammered. They wanted to go start something with him. And why? You know the history of Perfect. He's a maniac, right? And that was their, like, I could tell that, I mean, obviously they were drinking, but I mean, they weren't with our group, luckily. But they wanted to go over there. You could hear them planning out how they wanted to go over there and just start something with him to get him fired up and go. And why? And how many of these times you see like guys like Pac-Man Jones constantly in the news getting in a fight at a bar? These guys are just wanting to go, and some just don't know how to control themselves. But sometimes it's not fair because when these guys go out, they have a reputation that is built through media and built through perceptions of what they hear. Oh, man, on the field, he's this vicious psychopath. So we're just going to go troll him. And then what happens? These guys start fights with these guys when they're out at the casinos and the bars. They try to get them up. They're drinking, so they're already lubed up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. So it's unfortunate, but I see that happens in real life sometimes where people try to get certain people fired up just so that they can get them to hit you or something to be a part of some kind of funny, crazy story that it's just nuts. People are crazy. People are absolutely nuts.
I just don't understand it, man. I just don't understand it, man. Boo and cheer. That's it, man. You don't have to take it to these levels, man. And for people that say, well, you just don't have to check your mentions. You don't have to check your timeline. Like, what? It's my phone. I can do whatever I want.
And by the way, when players say I don't pay attention to that mess, that's not true. That's not true. And I don't believe anyone out there is truly like that. That's not capable of it. You have people telling you mean things about yourself. That's going to stick with you. But to be fair, it's the people who know how to dissect it and handle it.
Yeah.
And some just have to be smart enough not to be on it if they can't handle it.
Go LeBron, zero dark 30. He turns off his social media during playoffs.
He also, never mind. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers. Some score updates from around college basketball. On the men's side, Oklahoma trails Gonzaga 75-65 with 3:56 to go.
I got Gonzaga still. It's one of my few guys.
Oh no! Remember, I told you Gonzaga. Member of the team that's going to disappoint. I put Gonzaga. I should have put Ohio State right there. Actually, I should have just put the entire Big Ten because who knows what's going to happen with Michigan. Is Livers out for the tournament or just this? I know he's out tonight, but is he out for the whole tournament?
Man, I don't know. Shaw, update us.
Later on tonight, here's your matchups: Abilene Christian and UCLA, 14 versus 11. UCLA looks really good, by the UCLA looked really good against Michigan State. UCLA took out BYU. Yeah, man. When you it's one thing to think you're better than you are, but when you are better than what people think you are, I guess it's called about backing it up, and he's backing it up. That's what you got to do. But good for Cronin, man. An interesting matchup here. I thought with Creighton was going to be my upset lock of the weekend, mainly because I just thought there was so much noise around the program with everything that happened with the plantation comment that was made by McDermott. I just thought there was so much outside noise that was kind of hindering this program, circling this program heading into the tournament. I thought that they would be an easy one to circle and say, okay, they're going to get tripped up. But they have an Ohio team that I don't know what it is about Ohio in March Madness. Like, it wasn't too long ago when they were making their Sweet 16 run again, and it's just like Ohio's not even they make it count. When they get there, they make it count. They have more NCAA tournament wins in the last 10 years than everyone else in the MAC combined. They do their thing, man. But that was a cool win to see them pull that off against Virginia the other night. That was really fun. They're one of the feel-good stories. I was doing the OH chant at a certain point throughout that game. I'm like, well, they're all that's left, baby. So, I'm OHing it up. We're doing the OHIO chant for the Bobcats. I tell you that much. But they're a feel-good story. Pretty pumped for them. I'm picking them tonight over Creighton. I'm betting a ton of money on it, and if they lose, I swear you players better look out. I'm coming for you. So there's that. But I mean, that kid, what's the kid's name too? Is going to the NBA. I already forgot.
He almost had a triple-double the other game. Yeah,
he's the real deal. But that's the thing. So if you look at the teams that are pulling off these upsets, Kev, it's great guard play.
Yep.
It's great guard play, not just the ability to, isolation. It's these teams who clearly are not as equally talented in depth-wise. I shouldn't say equally talented. They have talent that matches the opponent's talent. They don't have the depth to match the opponent and the size at times. But if you look at the upsets, there's not one upset that happened over the weekend that did not involve good guard play.
Right.
No post player dominated the tournament, right?
I mean, the best one, Luka Garza, had 40, and they still lost by 15 today.
That's a good point. But see, they lost.
By 15.
But you look at like Loyola beat Illinois yesterday. And every time Illinois got the ball into Coburn down low, they couldn't stop him.
Right.
He looked like a man amongst boys. I couldn't believe. I always knew how big he was, but when they got the ball in the post and they'd zoom in, I'm like, they can't stop him. They would not give him the dang ball. They kept just trying. They were coming down, and that Adeyu or whatever his name, turnover city, baby. Like, I mean, it was.
Man,
unreal.
I wish you'd have played like that versus Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament.
I swear, and the post player for Loyola, I swear he was working the deli when I went today to go get a sandwich. I'm not joking. Like I know I've seen him before, and the mustache is awesome. If they get another win, I'm shaving the goatee and just wearing the mustache in honor of him. I don't even know his name, but I'm just going to call him Stash. Stash on Loyola is a badass. He doesn't look like a basketball player, but these are those teams. The teams that are winning right now are the true teams. The real team, like these guys they're used to playing together basketball. I know that sounds weird. It's but they've been playing team basketball all year. I don't know if Power 5 teams play team basketball at times. Sometimes it is that it's an abundance of talent on these rosters, and sometimes skill and talent takes over games, but you're not always playing team basketball. For instance, look at Ohio State in that final possession against Robert Morris. Or I keep calling him Robert Morris. I'm sorry. In the final possession against Oral Roberts, that was a cluster F.
Yes.
That was a mess. Does that look like a team that plays good team basketball? I'm not saying they don't know how to play team basketball, but that's a team of, just give it to him and go. Look at these teams that are winning. They're playing good team basketball. They work the ball around the perimeter, quick passes, get the ball in the post, kick it back out. They know how to play the game a certain way to where I'm watching these Power 5 schools, most of them who have that elite talent. It's one or two players, and it's isolation plays left and right, and it's that type of basketball. Sometimes I think that's what also trips up these teams when we get to this point of the season.
I think I was texting you on that last play.
You did.
Tied up, and
you were ahead of me too, so I was pissed because I knew it was coming. So I was like, "Damn it, Kevin!"
So Dwayne Washington, big Dwayne Washington Jr. fan, but he dribbles, and the stagger screen never comes, so he decides to take a step back three, and I'm like, dude. What was that? Like, you bailed them out. You bailed them out by taking a step back three. And I said, you're watching too much James Harden because that's not even your go-to shot.
The only time I saw Ohio State run good quality plays and sets was to get Justin Arns a look. In fact, Justin Arns got the look. He missed. And Ohio State was very fortunate that with the game on the line, that they got a wide open shot from Washington that kicked it back out. I mean, I thought for sure that was going in.
Likewise.
And when it bounced out, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But I was like, they didn't deserve it. At a certain point, it's like you even pull for your own team to lose because it's like you guys don't deserve this game. You deserve what's happening to you right now. When your team gives up 24-point leads with 6.5 minutes to go, you get so angry at a certain point. It's like you guys don't deserve to win this game. What are you doing? When Ohio State's letting Oral Roberts hang around as long as you don't deserve to win that game because, with all due respect to Oral Roberts, I'm not saying they didn't have any business being in the game, but it wasn't like Oral Roberts was overwhelming Ohio State. Or Ohio State was overwhelming themselves. Mistake after mistake, turnover after turnover, just jacking up bad shot after bad shot. And it was bad coaching on that day yesterday as well. What'd you call it?
Lemon booty.
Lemon booty. It's cooler when you say it. That when I say it, it's weird. Like, what's Kenner saying lemon booty? So there's that.
Our bracket's trash.
Shaw just said, I don't know where that went. Shaw just said, can someone answer me why Washington wasn't who the last play was drawn up for? Because a lot of times when you got shooters like Justin Arn's a very capable shooter. In fact, if anything, I have no problem when coaches do that. You use the superstar's talent against the opponent. They know the opposing coach is like, they're going to go to Dwayne Washington. They're going to go to Washington. They're going to go to Liddell. So in Oral Roberts' little huddle, they're drawing up what they think is going to happen. They're going to talk about how they're going to handle at the top of the key. You're going to switch everything, or you're going to fight through it. You're going to go second man. You're going to go third man. You're going to go underneath. You don't want to go underneath and leave room for the shooter. They're talking about all those things. The last person they're talking about is the fourth or fifth option coming out of a timeout. And I thought Holtman did a fine job with that. I had no issue drawing up a play for Justin Arns coming off the double screen. The problem is Arns is a spot-up shooter. He is not good at creating for himself, and they put him in a position where he had to dribble with two defenders in his face and force a three. That's not his game. He's not John Diebler. Like John Diebler was one of those where, yes, he was a deadly shooter, but man, he could find his shot anywhere. He can create for himself. That's not Justin Arns. I didn't mind the play drawing up that play for Justin Arns because all the defense was going to be shifted towards Washington. They were hoping to get him in an open look. He ended up having to force a bad shot. Washington just got lucky that they were able to kick it back out to him on the offensive rebound and the putback opportunity. They just couldn't get it to fall. All right, it's the Justin Kinder Show with Kev Nash presented by Kirkland Sommers. We're going to transition into NFL free agency talk coming up here in a moment. I will say this. I've made it a goal this week. I'm going to see how far into the week I can make it without ripping the Cincinnati Bengals.
I mean, you made it an hour and 30 minutes.
You want to know, but like some fans were so sensitive over the weekend, Kev, that remember last week when I was doing it's the I Hate the Bengals show right here? Like it was clearly me being a smartass. Some took it to heart. Some thought it was serious. Some thought it was serious. I'm like, for one, I should have named it that. But two, it's not serious. It was me being a smartass. So just relax, folks. Relax. But I'm gonna see how long. We're just gonna talk about the moves that were made. We're gonna continue to keep an eye on the NFL free agency market. That's been quiet today, that's for sure. But all eyes have been on college basketball, and rightfully so. Steve Stetler on Facebook. Let's pull up his reaction. The Buckeyes were terrible in closing games the last 10 games, with the exception of the Michigan game. Stagnant offense, coaching. That's a good point right there. The problem is I mean, look, Liddell, your best player, they're still a relatively young roster. Like, that's not an excuse. I'm just saying. This is why I worry for the Flyers next year, Kev, is because, like, everyone keeps talking about this top 15 recruiting class coming in to save the day. I'm like, that's fine, but they're going to be young. And I think that you're going to see UD next year in a lot of close games, and I think they're going to lose a lot of close games unless these freshmen play mature basketball. And that's not a shot. I think that's the reality of it. I think you have to be concerned if a lot of your youngest players are guards. They do have the freshman or the senior point guard, of course, I'm talking about there. But, like, overall, your best players that you want the ball in their hands with the chance late. Washington crumbled in those moments, though. Liddell, sophomore, he didn't come up big when they needed him to. I'm not willing to go coaching yet. I think that's just the makeup of this roster. Chris Holtman, Kev, there's people calling for Holtman's job.
Stop it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard to be calling for Chris Holtman's job. The guy has done a fantastic job. He took over a program that wasn't making the NCAA tournament, and I don't know, they've only made it every year since he's been here. And they weren't even supposed – the down year 2 years ago, remember when they made it? It was a down year for Ohio State. I'm like, if a down year is making the tournament and winning in the tournament, I'd say I'll take that down year over anything. So there's that. Shaw, Ohio State was up 13 with 2:30 to go. It came down to the last shot. How was that not terrible in closing? No one's saying it's not terrible. It was not a good loss, David, but damn, it's not a put the coach's head on the chopping block. I mean, it's total overreaction. And I think that when you're a fan of a 1 seed right now, based on what we've seen from this tournament, you shouldn't chirp so much because Michigan can go down at any given moment.
What's up with Livers? Because if Livers is not going to be playing, they're not going to be making that run to the Final Four.
Finch Waller says Livers most likely out for the whole tournament.
That sucks.
It does.
That sucks. That's bad.
So when they lose, I'm going to be like, it's a horrible loss. You're a 1 seed. You shouldn't lose. You're the favorite. When you're a high seed and you lose in the NCAA tournament, those all could be considered horrible losses that you shouldn't be forgiven for. But like you said earlier, Virginia lost to a damn 16 seed. If we're going to overreact to losses in the tournament, that's one to overreact to. And what did they do? They just turned right back around, and Bennett led them to a national championship. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with Ohio State.
I am.
But to sit there and ignore all the good that Chris Holtmann has done and put it onto one game in an NCAA tournament, in a tournament that is branded as March Madness, madness being the key word for a reason, I'm not going to fire Chris Holtmann over madness. And that's what happened in the NCAA tournament. And Oral Roberts is not better than Ohio State. They were just better than them that day. Chris Holtmann's going nowhere. I can't believe that I'm even having to say that today. That's crazy. Hey, you want a chance to win $1,000? Let's swing for the fences. It's the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Be listening 12 times throughout the day, starting at 6 a.m. for the winning word. I have your winning word for the 4 p.m. hour coming up on the other side. We'll be right back.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Hi, my name is Brian Summers, and I'm an attorney with Kirkland Sommers. We are a law firm dedicated to divorce and family law. We have 2 locations serving Miami Valley, one near Austin Landing and the other in Troy. Remember, we're not part-time divorce and family lawyers. We're full-time here for you.
Kirkland & Sommers, trusted and experienced, a family law practice dedicated to serving you. Visit them online at kirklandandsummers.com. That's Summers with an O, kirklandandsummers.com.
Hey, here to tell you about my friends at Cordell Transportation. They're now hiring Class A CDL drivers and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Home daily, dedicated lanes, and no-touch freight. Brand new equipment as well. Medical, dental, vision, and company-paid life insurance. Call Cody right now. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It's such a beautiful night. Look at the stars.
They're amazing. Did you know 20% of stars have planets orbiting them capable of sustaining life?
How did you know that? You must spend a ton of time reading.
Not at all. I use Blinkist.
Blinkist?
Yeah, it's an app that takes key insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers and gathers them into 15-minute blinks for you to read or listen to. With Blinkist, you can learn the main points of an entire book in just 15 minutes, as opposed to days or weeks.
What kind of books?
Nonfiction books in over 27 categories, from personal development to history, management, investing, philosophy, and more. Books like A Beautiful Mind, The 4-Hour Work Week, Freakonomics, and Sapiens. Blinkist makes it easy to learn about pretty much anything.
Like the stars?
Even the stars.
Right now, radio listeners get 25% off, plus 1 free week when you go to Blinkist.com/grow. To get this special offer, go to Blinkist.com/grow. That's BLINKIST.com/GROW.
The Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission is here to assist veterans during this COVID-19 pandemic. Even though we are not meeting face-to-face, we are here for you. We understand it is a difficult time with this virus threat and the strain of implementing social distancing. For those Montgomery County veterans who have lost their source of income due to their employers having to close or reduce their business hours due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you may be eligible for COVID-19 special financial relief assistance. Please contact the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission
information at 937-225-4801 Monday through Friday for more information or to have an application sent to you. You can also visit mcvsc.org. The Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission is here to help Montgomery County veterans during the COVID-19 crisis. Call 937-225-4801 Monday through Friday or visit them online at mcvsc.org.
Sports injury, low back pain, or are you interested in improving your performance and getting to the next level? Orion Sports Medicine is truly a unique sports medicine and physical therapy clinic and training facility. We offer a highly educated staff that has experience working with athletes from the recreational and youth levels to elite professionals. We offer services that include PT, functional assessment, wellness, fitness, return to sport, sports performance, strength and conditioning, speed and agility training, all at our state-of-the-art facility in Miamisburg. For more information on Orion Sports Medicine, visit orionsportsmedicine.com. Howard Music, one of the largest music stores in the nation, is having March Musical Madness. Yes, Howard's is slashing prices to the rock bottom. Nothing held back in their superstore in Centerville. Nowhere else will you find a larger selection of band instruments, drums, guitars, digital pianos, and musical accessories all under one roof. Sign your student up for lessons in our state-of-the-art teaching rooms. Nowhere else will the prices be lower than Howard's March Musical Madness. Look for the huge Howard sign at 528 Miamisburg Centerville Road. Howard's March Musical Madness is going on now.
PBAuctions.com is conducting a huge online auction of building supplies at 26200 Richmond Road in Bedford Heights. This is an excess inventory auction from one of Ohio's largest wholesalers. Kitchen cabinets, vanities, tubs, showers, sinks, faucets, toilets, lighting, heating and cooling, and large volume cabinet lots for resellers and contractors. Don't miss this one-time event. This auction ends this Sunday at 6 p.m. and bidding is open now. Go to PBAuctions.com for online bidding and information.
Frickers is ready with Frickin' Madness. Frickers' new mobile app allows you to order online and score points for free food and loyalty visits. Frickers is ready for you to catch all the action of the March to the National Championship. Dine in and win with Frickers chicken wings, ice cold beer, and all of the games. Score big by downloading Frickers' new app and receive loyalty points, free food, and order online. Your home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Millions of Americans have been affected by identity theft. Get LifeLock today and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code RISK.
Congratulations to the Centerville Elks boys basketball team. For the first time in school history, the Elks reached the OHSAA Division I Boys State Tournament and sealed the deal for their first ever state title. Congratulations from Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio.
NFL free agency, we'll dive back into that and just basically a recap of what happened with the Browns and the Bengals over the weekend. The Bengals finally addressed the offensive line. We'll talk about what that means for Joe Burrow and the Bengals moving forward. Cleveland Browns continuing to add depth on the defensive side of the ball after an offseason of which they spent every dollar available on the offensive side of the ball a year ago. All the attention has been on the defensive side. Is it enough for the Browns to be AFC North favorites? We'll talk about all of that coming up here at the top of hour number 3, 5 o'clock, just 10 minutes from now. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland Sommers, the divorce and family law firm of the Miami Valley area with 5 attorneys to meet your needs. I have a chance and an opportunity here for you to win $1,000. Every hour we are giving out a keyword for which you could take to wingam.com and enter that winning word for your chance to win $1,000. The winning word for the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway contest is Blossom, BLOSSOM. Enter the word Blossom at wingam.com for the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway cash contest for your chance to win $1,000. Not you, Kev.
You remember that show, Blossom?
No.
Before your time, huh? Well, used to come on after Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on NBC back in the day.
No, I've never even heard of it.
What?
No, I've never even heard of it.
With Joey? Whoa.
That was called Blossom?
Yeah.
And he was in that?
Yeah.
I do remember the Joey Woe thing, but maybe, hold up. Let me just type in. Okay, let me see. It's loading right now. Great radio. Hold up. I don't even know what this is. All right. So I just hit enter. It's loading. I had no clue that was called Blossom.
Yeah.
What other show was he in? It don't matter. Joey Lawrence. I don't recognize any of these people outside of him. Maybe I didn't watch this. He had to be in something else, though, that I would recognize him from. It don't matter. We welcome you back, though. It's the Justin Kidder Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers. Enter the winning word, Blossom. Apparently, it was a great TV show. At wingam.com for your chance to win $1,000. As you just heard before coming back, again, congratulations to the Centerville Elks boys basketball team winning their very first state tournament, state championship over the weekend, beating who they beat? Westerville Central last night, 43-42. They got the win, first ever state championship for, well, the athletics department or program right there. Again, no between football and basketball. It's crazy. As big of a athletics department as they have, as big as the complexes they have, it's crazy. That's their first one.
Yeah, man, that just proves how tough it is to win a state title, man. There's so many schools in one state, and then when you're going through Cincinnati and Dayton to get to the state final, you're going through a bunch of big dogs. And, we talked about it before with the Catholic schools being in D1 and everything like that. That makes the road that much harder, but they got it done.
With that being said, some more news for Centerville. High school football, Centerville's Chase Harrison makes his college choice, and he has selected I literally, hold up. I got to pull Marshall. Holy smokes. I was on a roll. I felt good. I literally just spaced there. I was like, yeah. So he's committed to Marshall, and I've heard nothing but great things. I mean, we call so many Centerville games throughout the GWAC season anyways. We did a lot of Centerville games last year in Fairmont due to, with COVID, just trying to, we didn't have as big of a team to be able to move around too much. So we went to Centerville and Fairmont a lot, but getting a chance to watch Harrison play, man, he's something special. I heard so many big things about him, going all the way back to middle school. He's had so many big colleges looking at him, but I'm glad that he's picked his school. So congratulations to him on that. Transfer portal news in the college basketball world. How about this? The Dayton Flyers, Luke Frazier, and this should be to no surprise to anybody, has confirmed this according to David Jablonski with Dayton Daily News, covers the Flyers. Everyone knows what good job Jablonski does with that. Luke Frazier has confirmed that has confirmed for him that he will be looking for the right fit. He had some health setbacks early in the season and appeared in only 2 games as a freshman. Jablonski says best of luck to him. And again, verbal commits on Twitter. By the way, if you want to get up to the minute updates on the transfer portal, which last I checked had over 800, close to 800. It's close to 700. I'm sorry, 700 names already in it. Like, that's insane to me right now. And it's only, as more teams get eliminated. By the way, it's going to increase dramatically because as more teams get eliminated from the tournament, the more seasons come to an end, more coaching firing happens. Not just coaching firing happens, but coaching changes because coaches of current teams will leave their current job to take other open jobs out there. It's an interesting, dilemma as far as that goes. But Luke Frazier has entered the transfer portal. Follow verbal commits on Twitter, by the way, if you would like to get very good update there. Jalen Hall for the Wright State Raiders has also entered the transfer portal. So he came in with Loudon Love. He was a part of the NCAA tournament team his freshman year. They've had chances to get back since then, but his time with the Raiders is also done as well. I would expect more transfer updates, not just for Wright State, but for UD as well. But I've been keeping an eye on that and how that can impact both of them moving forward. Ohio State, don't know. Look, the transfer portal, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I know, it's all about players getting to choose what's right for them, but it doesn't. That's fine if that's what's best for them. But from me, from a fan experience, from a watching a team, I hate hitting the reset button on a damn team every year. I hate it. I hate it with the passion. It gets exhausting and overwhelming. I like that at Ohio State, we have to hit the reset button at quarterback once every 3 years. We get to fall in love with the quarterback for 3 years. We get to fall in love with the skill set players for 3 years. You're more comfortable that way.
Benefited from the transfer portal.
But the product's the same every year. It feels the same every year. We're talking about the transfer portal has benefited Ohio State at select positions. We're not talking about football that is basically just turning over rosters left and right every single year. College basketball, it's a new damn 3 of 5 every year.
Well, it's always going to be like that with the one and done situation. Like,
the one and done has slowed down though because they've had more options to go elsewhere.
True. I know that the kid from Tennessee who transferred from there after everything that went down there with the McDonald's bags of money and everything like that, Henry Tutu, I believe his name is. He's from California, ended up going to Tennessee, former 5-star dude, had over 90 tackles in limited games this past season at Tennessee. I know Ohio State's in the mix for his services for the transfer portal. I think he dropped his top 3. It was USC, which he's from California, Bama for obvious reasons, and the Buckeyes. We were a little, how do you say, subpar at linebacker. Wouldn't be bad to get an experienced 5-star linebacker with the Buckeyes. I'll gladly take them.
No, but and again, I'm not saying the transfer portal is value. I mean, it should be used when the situation is right. But I don't even care what the reasoning is. I don't care if all 800 athletes have oh man, it's just it's going to save my life if I go play over here. I don't care. I don't care about the reasoning. And as fans, we shouldn't. It's none of our business what the reasoning is. I'm just saying the fact that the NCAA makes it so easy. I don't like it. And I don't have to like it. I don't care what the reasoning is. You could tell me the most moral reason why they're doing it, and I'm not going to care because I'm not connecting with these athletes. I don't know who they are. I'm not going to. That's why I laugh when people say, "I can't believe you're so critical of the athletes." You know that you're going to hurt their feelings. They don't care about me. I don't care about them. And most importantly, listeners, you got to understand something. They don't care about you. When's the last birthday card you got from Joe Burrow? When's the last, time a person close to your family passed away and Joe Burrow called you and said, man, I'm thinking about you? Not happening. They don't care about you. You don't care about them. You care about your team. That's fine. You care about your team. I'm not saying be happy when something bad happens. So I'm just saying that's why I don't, I feel bad when bad things happen to athletes and I'm not crying and losing sleep at night over. I'm not saying I'm glad it happened. I don't know them. They're not close to me. To me, they're not a real person to me. They're just an entertainment fact. I don't know how to word that. An entertainment option. I don't know.
It's amazing where you draw the line, because if somebody slides into the DMs calling them a MFer and all types of slurs and saying they're going to kill them, you man, these people are humans. But
because I can't fathom letting an individual that I don't know trigger me to that point to where I feel like I need to threaten their lives.
Right.
That's what's crazy to me is that these people get so angry at someone that they don't know. For instance, over the weekend, every time the Bengals would sign a player, I would post a picture of Joe Burrow getting sacked. And I would post a picture of Joe Burrow being carted off the field. Not at him, not attacking him. It was used as a reminder to the organization of, I thought y'all said you didn't want this to happen again. And fans were like, I can't believe that you would morally go there. I'm like, get your panties out of your behind. What are you talking about? That is so disrespectful and mean to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's worried about me. He's a millionaire. He is living his best life, and he's worried about what I have to say on social media when I'm not even attacking him. I'm actually defending him, saying, man, I don't want that to happen again. But it amazes me how fans get just so, oh my gosh, they don't care about you. You don't care about them. You could care about it, but don't get all bent out of shape when something like that, to take what I posted and to take it to the extreme in which they did. I was like, you got to be Gumby couldn't stretch that far. I was like, you got to be kidding me. One more time, folks. They don't care about you. They won't go to funerals of your family members. They won't call on you to check on you to make sure you're okay. They're not going to go to your damn birthday parties. They're not going to congratulate you on the raise you got at work. They're not going to congratulate you on the promotion. They're not going to go to your kids' graduation party. They're not going to go to your kids' graduation. They are not interested in your life. They are interested in your money. So they don't care about you. You don't care about them. It's as simple as that. I'm not wishing harm on anybody. I'm not wishing bad things to happen to anybody. All I'm saying is I'm not going to emotionally invest into a player. I just can't do it. I'm not saying others can't or shouldn't, but I find it fine. I'm not going to invest into somebody that's not going to invest into me. These guys don't care about me. I don't care about them. Just saying.
Eye for an eye.
It's only fair. We'll be back in a moment. Hour 3 coming up next. You do have the power to cut my mic off at any time. You just choose not to. You're an enabler.
Me?
You, Kev Nash. What?
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hi, my name is Brian Summers, and I'm an attorney with Kirkland Sommers. We are a law firm dedicated to divorce and family law. We have 2 locations serving Miami Valley, one near Austin Landing and the other in Troy. Remember, we're not part-time divorce and family lawyers. We're full-time here for you.
Kirkland Sommers, trusted and experienced, a family law practice dedicated to serving you. Visit them online at kirklandandsummers.com. That's Summers with an O, kirklandandsummers.com.
If you missed the hiring event, no worries. Rittal North America LLC in Urbana still has immediate openings seeking experienced third shift assembly operators, welders, machine operators, paint unloaders, and paint loaders. Rittal offers a minimum starting wage of $15.30 per hour with a $1 shift differential for second and third shifts, monthly attendance bonus, and benefits starting on the first of the month after hire. Please email Katie McKee your resume at mckee.k@rittal.us. Rittal is proud to be an affirmative action and equal opportunity employer.
Did you know you can get paid while enjoying the great outdoors? Grunder Landscaping Company, an industry leader, is currently offering full-time year-round positions. Grunder Landscaping provides competitive wages, a robust benefit package, free uniforms, paid certifications and training, career growth, and a $2,000 signing bonus. Apply online at grunderlandscaping.com or visit in person on Fridays between 12 and 4 at 1900 Old Byers Road in Miamisburg. Bring a friend to be eligible for a $1,000 referral bonus.
Millions of Americans have been affected by identity theft. Get LifeLock today and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code RISK.
On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER and ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle. WYNG 1410 Dayton, Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's live, it's local, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers.
I want you to tell the listeners what you were watching.
I didn't watch cartoons when I watched sitcoms. That's all I watched. I didn't watch cartoons.
I mean, I
watched The Jeffersons.
Great.
I watched Martin.
Great show.
I watched All in the Family. I found that hilarious. Now, how that show in today's culture is not like canceled, I have no idea. Like, people still love that show. I have no idea. Yeah. I have no idea.
Great show.
I found Roseanne hilarious. Not the person, just the show. I found that hilarious. Everybody Loves Raymond's good.
Yeah.
I'm literally Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all-time favorite though. Nothing comes close to that. We've talked about that.
Yes,
though. But
Fresh Prince is a great show. Yeah, comes on TV Land. All in the Family still comes on TV Land. So you know what I'm saying. You can go ahead, and they don't beep anything.
Yeah,
let it ride.
So it's like
amazing, amazing what you could get back in the 70s and 80s.
And then yeah. It is what it is. So there's that. But we welcome you back. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers, the divorce and family law firm in the Miami Valley area with 5 attorneys to meet your needs. We're live on Facebook. Head to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show. You can jump in on the conversation there. Follow the page. You can watch the show and, of course, interact in the chat section and jump in and share your opinions on everything going on in the sports world. So one thing that happened over the weekend, before we get into the NFL free agency, I don't know if you saw this, Kev. VCU, are you surprised that COVID has impacted this tournament as little as it has? Only one team has had to miss a game.
Right.
Not miss a game, have their season come to an end because of COVID. VCU, after going and passing all the testing protocols heading into the tournament's first round, they had 2 positives pop up on the day of, unfortunately. And not only is it that they were not allowed to play, they were being forced to quarantine and stay in their hall in their rooms until, they are tested again. They have to basically test out. You have to test out. So those guys can't leave the room. They can't pass.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's the other, unfortunate part of that. But are you surprised that there's not more of this? Because that's what I find fascinating is that I either expected none or a lot. I didn't expect the middle. And right now we've only had one team have to forfeit a game or the no contest. They don't want to call it a forfeit, but basically consider a game of no contest in Oregon. That's how they moved on in that VCU matchup.
Yeah, I am surprised that it's only been this one team to have this type of COVID issues and be a no contest for the tournament. I was expecting more because everything that was going on in the ACC tournament and the Big 12 tournament, seemed like there was a team every other day that had to drop out of those. So I was only going to imagine that it was going to be that times 3 in the March Madness tournament. So I'm surprised it is just that one. I know all the teams that have advanced to the Sweet 16 will stay in Indianapolis, but that doesn't guarantee you. I mean, you're not at one arena. You're at Hinkle Fieldhouse for one game, and then you go to a different arena for the next game. So you're not in a quote unquote bubble. You're you're still out there a little bit. You know, you go to the game, you go back to the hotel, you go to practice, you know what I'm saying? You're moving around. You're not in the Disney bubble like they were in the NBA. So it is a situation where there could be more people pop up with COVID issues. And that's very unfortunate. Obviously for VCU, we're hoping everybody dealing with COVID issues on their team is going to be okay. But, you know, we're thinking about it from the sports aspect of like, man, that sucks. Like outside of like, all right, man, we had to quarantine in our room. Then now we don't play. Now we got to quarantine our room until we can even go home. Like, yo, we're being held captive here. And like we didn't even get to play. Like we had a good season. We wanted a chance to participate in March Madness and we didn't even do that. We didn't even do the thing that we came to do. We didn't even come and lose. And we just came and just stayed in our hotel.
And that's the, you know, and they're just sitting there in misery. I mean, you can't even enjoy it. You're watching the highlights and all that. And that's the case for the teams that lose too. But here's the interesting fallout of this. Dayton plays a role in this VCU. Well, they're being, I found Flyers fans to be extremely sensitive to this story that came out. Shocker, I know. The VCU's sudden departure from the 2021 NCAA tournament stemmed from 3 players, not 2, testing positive for COVID-19 in the 48-hour period before their tip-off. And after contact tracing and everything, it ruled them out. Now, keep in mind, VCU played in an A-10 championship game here in Dayton against St. Bonaventures, and there's been multiple players testing positive on the VCU side. There was officials that officiated the game that tested positive for the virus. In fact, one of the officials that officiated the A-10 championship game was in really bad shape. Like the virus had really taken its toll on him. I know Jay Billis had mentioned it a few times on SportsCenter to keep that particular official's, you know, health and name in your prayers because of everything going on with that. But this is according to a source on this article from CBS Sports. Let me make sure, from Matt Norlander. CBS Sports put this out. The VCU was questioning how the tournament was handled in the city of Dayton. And this is why I keep telling Flyers fans, you got to stop being so GD sensitive because it's annoying. No one blamed the Dayton Flyers. Here's what I do want to know, though. Who was in charge of the atmosphere for this? Like the Dayton Flyers, UD Arena hosted it.
Right.
And here's what I don't know, and this is why I never went here with it. I didn't accuse the Flyers of anything. I thought it was a little like, I don't even think this article really blamed the Flyers. They were blaming where the tournament was held. They were blaming the hotel, the Marriott and everything across from UD Arena. They were critical of people not following protocols. There was a lot of people in the lobby not wearing masks. You can hear the workers asking the people in the lobby to wear masks. No one was listening. It was just a cluster. You had players, when you're leaving, there's just a bunch of random people in the lobby because you had the girls' state tournament at UD Arena that year. I never felt that they were attacking the Flyers. They were just saying that, hey, they were not, they are frustrated because looking back, if you look at how strict the bubble is for them in the NCAA tournament, that bubble was not airtight for the A-10 championship game. And that's where their frustration stemmed from. And you look at, and everyone right away, well, St. Bonaventure didn't have any positives. I don't care. The fact that the officials from the A-10 championship game and multiple players at VCU and you all staying in the same hotel with all the parents and family members of the girls' state tournament that was in town that same weekend, I found this a little interesting. I was like, man, so I'm reading this. I never once come across a line in any of these sources that sourced this article blaming the Dayton Flyers, saying that, man, the athletics department's trash, that they did not handle this. Is the athletics department responsible for that atmosphere, or for the handling of putting them up in the hotel and everything like that? I don't think.
No,
is it the NCAA? Is it the A-10?
It is the A-10.
Flyers fans, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to sit up out of your seat. If you're in your car, I need you to pull over. I need you to take your right hand, your pointer and your thumb. I need you to reach behind you. I need you to reach behind you. Okay. It's going to tickle a little. It's going to tickle. If your hands are cold, your cheeks might feel it. I need you to reach up and grab those panties and pull them out of your butt. And stop being a bunch of damn crybabies. I'm so sick of it. Every point that VCU brought up was a good point. Why were all teams and the officials all staying in the same hotel with a bunch of the general public? Why was that happening? Why were they having to walk out and have so many people around them not wearing masks? Some of the workers were not wearing masks. Like, that's the concern here. They were not ripping the Flyers, but because this area, everyone is so damn sensitive, everyone has to sit there and cry and say, stop blaming me. We're the Flyers. We do everything perfect. No one was blaming you. The Flyers were not being blamed. All right. The athletic director was not being blamed. The athletics department was not being blamed. No one was blaming the department. So why are fans getting so angry and triggered? If you would read the article, you would understand that all those concerns are very valid. Very valid. The reason VCU source in this article was questioning the protocol for the A-10 championship is because if you look at how airtight the bubble is for the NCAA tournament, they're not allowed to leave their rooms. You know, we've heard about some of the players criticizing this about how it's a little over the top. You know, why was the A-10 tournament not over the top with making sure that St. Bonaventure and VCU or whatever were taken care of in that championship game, and the officials as well? So that's why I just can't wrap my head around why you fans have to be so damn sensitive and take everything as an attack on you. That is the perfect example of little man syndrome. Like right there. Like, because I promise you this, if it was the other way around, Kev, and the Flyers had to go play an A-10 championship game at VCU and a Flyer tested positive, I guarantee you, everyone in this town would be looking at VCU's handling saying, well, they had us in a hotel that had unmasked people in it. All of a sudden, everyone's concerned about masks when it impacts them, by the way. So that's what I find fascinating. Flyers fans, stop being sensitive. I know it's very difficult for you, but you have to stop. This article is not attacking the Flyers. I wasn't even attacking the Flyers. I read this article. I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. And I found it interesting because it just happened to be, talking about the Dayton Marriott, talking about that. They were concerned about the protocols that were put in place. By the way, not attacking the hotel. The hotel was not doing anything wrong. You're going to have people exposed in the in the lobby area, but when you're putting athletes, this was the big complaint about the Major League Baseball bubble for the World Series. Remember, everyone was saying that they kept calling it a bubble. They're like, it's not a bubble. You're putting the World Series teams in these hotels in Texas or wherever it was. No, it was in LA, wasn't it? It don't matter. They were putting them up in hotels in this bubble, and they're like, it wasn't a bubble. When the players leave their hotel rooms, they're getting on the elevator with just common folk also staying at the same hotel. It wasn't a bubble. So this sounds like it was the same thing. It's not up to the hotel to bubble it, right? I'm not even blaming the Dayton Marriott. They did nothing wrong. They're running a hotel. And the hotel had regular patrons in it, as well as both teams and the officials. It's not the hotel's job to run a bubble tight environment there for them. That's the A-10 to figure that out. If you were going to change up the whole tournament and for whatever reason put one game at UD Arena, I just don't get it. No one blamed UD. They should be blaming the A-10. That's who it should be going towards. I just don't get why fans had to just go berserk on social media and take offense to everything. Everything. And it just is so sickening to me. Knock it off. No one wasn't blaming the Dayton Flyers for once. So just stop. How about that?
Yeah, it's all on the A-10. I mean, the A-10 is the ones that are benefiting from the TV contract they signed with their media partners to put it on the A-10 conference tournament on TV. It's their responsibility to make sure that not only both teams are safe, but also the officials are safe. So it's on them. It's not on University of Dayton. They're just the host. Their building is the host.
Their responsibility. Yeah, if there was now this is why Dayton Flyers fans, you have to be smarter than the average person, right? You got to be. Every complaint about the handling of the bubble situation was about the hotel, and it's not even on the hotel. I got to be clear here. I am not bashing a business in town. The hotel did nothing wrong. The hotel they were doing what the hotel does. People stay at the hotel. Right. All right. They're mad. VCU players are mad because they had to be in the same room, like elevators, hallways, the lobby area with regular patrons. Regular patrons there was a lot of families there staying at that hotel because of this girls' state tournament at UD Arena the night before. I get the frustration there, but again, that's on the A-10. The A-10 should have found better arrangements for these teams to keep them in a more bubbled-like environment. And to me, the A-10 seems selfish in this because here's why, Kev. The A-10 didn't care to me about post A-10 championship. It's get them a hotel, get them stay, so we can get the A-10 championship game on the TV, so we can get our conference money for the A-10 championship game. That's what it says to me. To me, it screams that the conference didn't really care about the accommodations of these teams and making sure that they were in a bubble tight environment. It was just, let's just get them to Dayton. Let's get our conference tournament. They're both going to make the tournament anyways, no matter what, VCU and St. Bonaventure. So let's just get them taken care of and off we go. The only reason that these conference tournaments were forced upon these teams from Power Fives to mid-majors was for the TV deal money. That's all it came down to. And that screams to me that the A-10 was just like, let's just get these teams, let's get this damn game in, let's get it on TV, let's get our TV money and move on to the NCAA tournament, where now we're not responsible for the safety protocols for the teams. They're the NCAA's problem now. St. Bonaventure and VCU became the NCAA's problem as far as fitting them into their COVID protocols for the tournament. A-10 didn't have to worry about it. It seemed very lazy on the A-10's part, not the Flyers. I'm not blaming the Flyers, and nobody should blame the Flyers. And to be honest, I read this article 3 times. At no point did I feel they were blaming the Flyers either. It was the A-10's responsibility, and I'll leave it at that.
It's only brought up because it was played at UD Arena.
Yep. And rightfully so. But I was amazed at how many Flyers fans on social media read it and took it as an attack towards them, as if there's just no way something could have happened in our city. No, that's bogus. It didn't even happen to them.
See what happened in the city on Saturday night.
Yeah, the Dayton Marriott did nothing wrong. All right. Well, I don't know which hotel it was. There seems to be confusion whether it was the hotel directly across or the other Dayton hotel that's, a ways from the arena. Bottom line is, well, no matter what hotel it was, they didn't do anything wrong. All right. Dayton Athletics Department did nothing wrong. UD did nothing. UD was responsible for them for the time that they stepped foot into the arena until the time that they left. And the Flyers did their part. That's what they were outside of the psycho, security guard that choked out the cameraman. Outside of that, they just nailed it, to be quite honest with you. So there's that. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers. We'll have more NCAA March Madness updates for you. I'm telling you, I do love the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday arrangement for the first round. I do like it. Lots of upsets galore. The madness is real. That is for sure. We'll step away for a few moments. I promise you, we are now going to transition into some NFL talk.
Maybe.
No, we will. And I'm trying to make sure I keep my streak alive of being positive about the Bengals. No, I'm not going to be positive about the Bengals, but I'm not going to be mean to the Bengals. Remember, they don't care about you. You don't care about them. We'll be back in a moment.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Mostly sunny and warm today as the temp climbs to 69. Partly cloudy tonight, low 44. The clouds thicken up tomorrow with a high temp of 67. We'll hit the low 70s on Wednesday, although there is a chance of rain. I'm John Bailey for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather is brought to you by Cullet Propane. 98% of their customers recommend Cullet. If you wouldn't recommend your current supplier, check them out at culletpropane.com.
Hi, my name is Brian Summers, and I'm an attorney with Kirkland Sommers. We are a law firm dedicated to divorce and family law. We have 2 locations serving Miami Valley, one near Austin Landing and the other in Troy. Remember, we're not part-time divorce and family lawyers. We're full-time here for you.
Kirkland and Sommers, trusted and experienced, a family law practice dedicated to serving you. Visit them online at kirklandandsommers.com. That's Sommers with an O, kirklandandsommers.com.
There's nothing better than a fresh-made home-style meal, but not everyone loves the hassle of cooking. At Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home-style happens here with our famous 12-piece family meal at a great price. This famous family meal includes 12 mixed pieces of Lee's fresh, never-frozen chicken that is honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and cooked to perfection, plus 3 large sides and 6 fluffy biscuits. Get a home-style meal made easy today with Lee's 12-piece family meal at a great price. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
It's grilling season, and you got the best beef brisket money can buy. Dry rubbed to perfection, slow smoked for 8 hours, and you dared to face that perfect smoky hickory wood flavor with subpar wood cooking pellets? Introducing Kingsford 100% hardwood pellets. No fillers or binders, just 100% hardwood for 100% flavor. Learn more at kingsford.com.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring owner-operator and fleet owners. Dedicated home daily round-trip lanes. That's right, round-trip, get paid for all miles, 100% no-touch freight. Cordell is offering great pay, a discounted fuel program, and free on-site truck parking, plus a $5,000 sign-on bonus per truck. Take advantage of the dedicated round-trip miles, sign-on bonus, and home every day or every other day. Go online to CordellTransportation.com to apply today. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
PBAuctions.com is conducting a huge online auction of building supplies at 26200 Richmond Road in Bedford Heights. This is an excess inventory auction from one of Ohio's largest wholesalers. Kitchen cabinets, vanities, tubs, showers, sinks, faucets, toilets, lighting, heating and cooling, and large volume cabinet lots for resellers and contractors. Don't miss this one-time event. This auction ends this Sunday at 6 p.m. and bidding is open now. Go to PBAuctions.com for online bidding and information.
You're ready to get back into yoga, so you order the essentials: a non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear. Noise-canceling headphones.
Welcome. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
Sports injury, low back pain, or are you interested in improving your performance and getting to the next level? Orion Sports Medicine is truly a unique sports medicine and physical therapy clinic and training facility. We offer a highly educated staff that has experience working with athletes from the recreational and youth levels to elite professionals. We offer services that include PT, functional assessment, wellness, fitness, return to sport, sports performance, strength and conditioning, speed and agility training, all at our state-of-the-art facility in Miamisburg. For more information on Orion Sports Medicine, visit orionsportsmedicine.com.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Millions of Americans have been affected by identity theft. Get LifeLock today and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code RISK.
Congratulations to the Centerville Elks boys basketball team. For the first time in school history, the Elks reached the OHSAA Division I Boys State Tournament and sealed the deal for their first ever state title. Congratulations from Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Again, shout out to the Centerville Elks once again. The Wright State Raiders women's basketball team just got their first NCAA tournament win in program history. They defeated Arkansas 4-seed 66-62 just earlier this afternoon. How cool is that? Again, not a lot of local teams in the NCAA tournament on the men's side, but the women's side, definitely the Raiders taking care of business there. So shout out to Coach Katrina Merriweather and the Raiders. I don't know who they have next. I haven't even checked to see what's up next for them, but pretty dang cool. Again, we talked about that. Actually, is a college basketball national championship the least respected of all championships? I don't want to say respected because they're respected, but what I mean is they don't seem to have a lot of juice to them. They don't carry conversations. We don't talk like in college football. We talk about Nick Saban's championships. Coach K is just Coach K, right? Like we never said Coach K and his X amount of championships. It's just Coach K. Oh, man, look at the big coaches we talk about in college basketball. It's not about the national championships that they've won at Loyola. It's about the Final Four run, the Sweet 16 run, the doing more with less. Like we look at coaches in basketball differently than in college basketball, different than any other sport. I do feel that, and again, I don't devalue it, and I don't think people devalue it. I just don't think that it holds its same weight. For instance, like the World Series, I also put at the bottom with the college basketball national championship. We never talk about this player. If he would have won a World Series, he would have been an all-time great. They're just all-time greats. World Series or not, they're all-time greats. In the NBA, though, we hold that against them. Right. Karl Malone, John Stockton, we never talk about them, although they're two of the all-time greats, but they never won a championship, so we just kind of put them behind. Chris Paul's never won a championship. We just put him on the back burner. Charles Barkley, if it wasn't for Capital One and TNT's pregame show, he would be on the back burner. And that's no disrespect to those guys. That's just the reality of the perception of it. The NBA Finals, like I feel like the NBA, outside of the Super Bowl, Kev, the Super Bowl and the NBA championship, I think, are the two most prestigious championships out there, even more so than college football. What I mean by that is those NBA championships dictate whether you are a legend or just another good NBA player.
Right.
We don't do that in any other sport. Hell, even in football, we don't do it to the level of which the NBA, if I had to rank the importance of championships and what it means for player legacies and coaching legacies, the NBA championship to me is the most impactful of all of them. People are pissed that I'm saying that because a lot of people say, I hate the NBA, but it's true. The NBA championship makes and breaks player resumes and like legacies and player and coach legacies. We don't question players in baseball, whether they're great or not, based on World Series. It's sometimes just a cherry on top. So, and in college basketball, it's not about the championships. It's about how many tournament appearances. How far do you get in those tournaments? How many Final Fours? How many Sweet 16s, Elite Eights? That to me, that's why I have to say I put the college basketball national championship and the World Series at the bottom of the totem pole as far as the impact of what those championships actually mean. I think they have zero bearing on them. I really do. Like I almost feel like who won the national? When Virginia won the national championship that year, we talked more about Texas Tech and Chris Beard getting to the Final Four than we actually did about the team that won the national championship. Like that was more of a bigger storyline, Texas Tech getting to the Final Four than the team who actually won the national championship, right? Like that's kind of where I'm at with that. That's why I think that although I don't devalue them, I think perception-wise, we just don't use them enough in talking points to where they matter. The NBA, LeBron versus LBJ, we're not going to spend time on it, don't worry. But what's the talking point? We throw out a lot of great stats for LeBron. LeBron kicks Michael's ass in every major statistical point out there. Finals, 6-0. There's weight to that. Like LeBron is trying to play deep into his 80s so that he can catch Michael Jordan, because LeBron knows it doesn't matter if I quadruple the amount of points MJ had, quadruple the rebounds, quadruple the assists, quadruple the total wins. If I don't reach that finals total, there is no talking point at all. LeBron knows that. We all know that. That's why I'm saying, to me, the NBA championship is the most important of them all because of the legacies that it impacts.
Yeah, look at Dirk. When they lost to the Heat the year that D-Wade won the NBA Finals MVP with Shaq on the team, that team was broken. And then when Dirk came back and they ended up beating LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh in the finals, Dirk was officially a made man in the NBA. Like, you know how long he played after he won that championship? He played like 5-6 more years, and it really didn't matter. Nobody cared. Like, well, he got his chip, and he balled his butt off in the finals. So he's a made man. When you get that championship in the NBA, especially being the MVP of your team, being that lead guy, you're a made man. Now, in LeBron's case, it's a little different because, he's chasing Michael Jordan and all those legacy things. Dirk Nowitzki isn't ever going to be perceived as the best of all time, but he's going to be in one of the best of all time.
Now the power forward conversation will include him, right, where it wouldn't have before. Right. It's just another skilled player.
Yeah. So, but I do look at it a little different in college basketball because before, I want to say, when did Villanova win? I want to say like 15, I think they won. Before that, people were looking at Jay Wright at Villanova like, hey, man, he gets a lot of guys in the NBA. He's a good coach, but he never has those tournament runs.
He's the Dabo, like, not comparing them personally. I'm just saying, but the makeup,
way better dressed than Dabo.
The coaching makeup of them is the similar.
Yeah.
Now they revitalized some stuff.
So, like, people started looking at him funny, like, well, when is he going to do it? Coach Calipari, like, man, he gets all these talented one-and-done situations. Well, when is he going to get it done? He got it done with Anthony Davis and that crew at Kentucky. So I do believe that people look at them a little funny when you don't get it done, when you have that much talent, you do that much winning for a long time. Look at the team that I root for, Syracuse. Can't believe it's already been like 19 years ago that we won a championship. But before that, people were looking at Boeheim like, look, man, when are you going to win one? Like, you in that nice little 2-3 zone, you get to the Sweet 16 every year, but you don't win it all.
Him and his kid are just plowing through the NCAA tournament right now. I mean,
let's go.
Look out, get out of the way. Beep, beep. We're coming through, baby.
So I'm
you
just
didn't
like,
even get the joke.
You're foul. You're foul. I'm not even going to recognize it. But, like, people do, like, look at those guys. When are you going to get it done? I remember Roy Williams, before he won the national championship at North Carolina, people looked at him. When are you going to actually get it done? So I do think the coaches do get looked at that way, not necessarily players, because, you know, the guys
there's
are
always going to be a level that they're looked at that way, but it's not the end all be all. The NBA, it's the end all be all. Like, you are not going to be an all-time great if you do not have an NBA. It's not even one. That's what makes the NBA so interesting. People crap all over the NBA all the time, but winning one's not good enough. You have to win multiple. You have to win. I mean, look at LeBron. He has to chase 6. And, you know, when I was talking about ranking the championships in a matter of importance, I put the NBA championship ahead of the Super Bowl for this reason only. We criticize LeBron because of all the finals that he's lost in. We praise Tom Brady for all the Super Bowls he's played in. Not even one. Played in. But with LeBron, it's look at all the finals he's lost. You know, because to me, I'm like amazed at how he went to the finals for 10 straight years with different teams. But that is such an amazing feat. I don't care who you are. And we focus on the ones he lost, not the ones that he won. With Tom Brady, it's look at all the Super Bowls he's played in.
Tom Brady and Illuminati.
And it's totally fine. Like, I'm not anti-Tom Brady. I'm not anti-LeBron. I'm just saying, like, it's amazing to me the difference. So Tom Brady, it's impressive how many Super Bowls he's played in on top of how many he's won. LeBron, it's beyond impressive how many finals he's actually been to, but we only focus on the finals that he's lost. The World Series, we don't even give a crap about. No one cares about the World Series. You know, Rob Manfred's right. It's just a hunk of metal, right? Remember when people were so pissed. But no one cares about the World Series in these all-time great debates. Barry Bonds is not an all-time great because of steroids, not because he never won a World Series. Had he won a World Series, it would just be a cherry on top of what we're already talking about. But that's what's crazy to me is the World Series does not move the meter for that at all.
You would be able to answer this way better than I could. So what about as a manager? Do they look at the manager like you have to win a championship in order to be a great manager? I know they don't look at it like that for players, because we talked about at Abundance where we can take a Barry Bonds out the game. We can take a Pujols out the game by simply not pitching to him. But does a manager need to have a championship on his resume to be considered an all-time great manager?
I mean, when you look at, Joe Torre, so if you're going to make a counter argument to me, you could talk about how the World Series turned a no-name manager into one of the best. So Joe Torre, for instance.
Right.
He was not an all-time great before he started leading the Yankees. Then he gets a team with Rivera and with Jeter and with Posada and all these guys, and it's like he's winning, you know, the evil empire.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because of all that success that he had, now it's like he's one of the greatest managers of all time. But he was the manager of which, by the way, I hate when people do that. I hate when people, like with Phil Jackson, they try to discredit Phil Jackson. Well, of course he won all those championships. Look what he had. There are coaches who have talent every year that can't get it done. They can't win in the playoffs. Like James Harden, that was a fiasco in Houston, but let's not act like those were not good basketball teams. They had a sick amount of talent. They just couldn't get it done. You are not promised anything by coaching talent. You are not promised anything. It's what you do. You have to mold that talent to play within a team capacity to win. And Phil Jackson was able to, with the biggest egos in the world, get Kobe to buy into him, Shaq to buy into him, Dennis Rodman, and the egos. So that's why I hate when people discredit managers and coaches for winning with talent. Well, Nick Saban, of course he has all those. He coaches at Alabama.
He recruited
He
at
is
that.
Alabama. Urban Meyer, yes, Ohio State's a well-oiled machine. Don't get me wrong. Ryan Day picks up right where Urban leaves off. But let's be clear, it's up to a coach to keep that in check, to keep the program's message in check. And Ryan Day's doing that. That's what's been most impressive to me. Now, I'm all over the place, but to sum up, every championship is important, but I do believe that some carry extra weight in the impact that it has on the sport. I don't think the World Series has an impact on the sport. So to go back to your point, managers are judged off what they, playoff appearances, and it's kind of structured like the NCAA tournament. Dusty Baker, if let's say Chris Holtman gets to the NCAA tournament with Ohio State for 4 straight years after this, and they get knocked out in the first round every time. Now Ohio State, Gene Smith is like, we got to get a coach that can not just get us here, but get us over the hump. We did that with Dusty Baker. Hell, we did it with Marvin Lewis, where getting to the playoffs is no longer good enough. We need to win once we get there. But it is a tiered thing where, when you look at the Nationals, when they got Dusty Baker, and then now he's with Houston, it's like he's never won a World Series. But Dusty Baker, all he does is win. All he does is get you to the playoffs. He's going to be, he's one of the biggest names out there because he just gets you to the playoffs. In the NBA, teams get to the playoffs every damn year. Coaches who coach playoff teams, you don't remember. No one says, oh, man, yeah, he coached that Milwaukee Bucks 19 playoff team. Yeah. No, but if you win a championship, you're remembered.
Yeah.
That's why Toronto will always be remembered for winning their NBA championship. That meant so damn much to that. So that's where I'm at with that. But anyways, all right. Maybe now... I got sidetracked. That's all. And by the way, Oral Roberts did. I said yesterday. I go. It's typical every time at this time of year. It's when the mid-major that upsets Ohio State in the NCAA tournament. They capitalize on the. On the. They got the T-shirts, man. It's a tradition unlike any other. Mid-majors jumping on the headline or merchandise following an upset over the Buckeyes. Whether they put the in the front page of the newspaper when their mid-major team upsets Ohio State, or whether they put it on a T-shirt. Oral Roberts. I'm thinking about ordering the Oral Roberts T-shirt over here.
Don't do it.
I would have ordered the newspaper, but no one reads the newspaper anymore. We'll be back in a moment. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland and Sommers next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Okay.
Indeed knows unexpected demand can stretch your business thin.
Leon speaking.
Like at Leon's Plumbing.
Sorry, quickest we can get there is next Friday.
To stay out of hot water, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's football legend Howie Long for Skechers Arch Fit shoes.
Do you like comfort? Of course you do. Everyone does. But if you've never tried Arch Fit shoes from Skechers, you're missing out on next level comfort. Saying you like comfort but not trying Arch Fit is like saying you like Italian food but you've never tried pasta. You're missing out on the number one thing. Because with Arch Fit, Skechers created a whole new kind of comfort. They teamed up with podiatrists who used over 20 years of data to create a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. Arch Fit distributes support across the arch no matter what foot type you have. You don't need an arch problem to love how they feel. And you say you have a passion for comfort but haven't tried them? That's like saying you're a sports fan but have never watched football. It makes no sense. So if you're the kind of person who claims to like comfort, stop what you're doing and try a pair of Arch Fit exclusively from Skechers. Then you'll finally understand true comfort.
See all the styles of comfortable, machine-washable Arch Fit shoes now at Skechers.com.
Sports injury, low back pain, or are you interested in improving your performance and getting to the next level? Orion Sports Medicine is truly a unique sports medicine and physical therapy clinic and training facility. We offer a highly educated staff that has experience working with athletes from the recreational and youth levels to elite professionals. We offer services that include PT, functional assessment, wellness, fitness, return to sport, sports performance, strength and conditioning, speed and agility training, all at our state-of-the-art facility in Miamisburg. For more information on Orion Sports Medicine, visit orionsportsmedicine.com.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations, all free with the radio.com app.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Spending more time at home? There has never been a better time to invest in your home. There is nothing better than a home theater or high-fidelity music system from Audio Etc. Can't watch your favorite basketball team in person? No problem. Audio Etc. can bring any game home. It's better than being there. You have to see it to believe the incredible quality of the picture and sound. 4K is amazing, but just imagine the 8K experience. Come to Audio Etc. today and experience 8K TVs and projectors. Surround sound? You haven't heard surround sound till you hear Dolby Atmos 360 degrees. It puts you smack dab in the middle with 11.2 channel surround sound. Audio Etc. has the brands, the deals, and the excitement. Audio Etc. powered by Klipsch, Bowers & Wilkins, SVS, Marantz, Denon, Sony, and a whole list of high-performance brands that you've probably never heard of. Audio Etc. 551 Congress Park Drive at the corner of Paragon and Centerville, or call 434-9770.
Audio Etc.'s crazy cool showroom.
We went to Skyline knowing that we could trust that they were doing everything right. The tables were far apart and we felt very comfortable sitting at our table. We ordered our go-to 3-ways and cheese conies and extra crackers and root beers. We felt very safe. It was just a little piece of home for us and, having that sense of normalcy. And we left knowing that this is a place that we can come back to over and over again.
Did you know you can get paid while enjoying the great outdoors? Grunder Landscaping Company, an industry leader, is currently offering full-time year-round positions. Grunder Landscaping provides competitive wages, a robust benefit package, free uniforms, paid certifications and training, career growth, and a $2,000 signing bonus. Apply online at grunderlandscaping.com or visit in person on Fridays between 12 and 4 at 1900 Old Byers Road in Miamisburg. Bring a friend to be eligible for a $1,000 referral bonus.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Nasal irrigation gets rid of germs by rinsing the nasal cavity, but neti pots are hard to use and, frankly, kind of gross. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. Millions use Navage for fast, all-natural relief from sinus congestion and allergies, and to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage is easy to use, affordable, and comes with an absolute guarantee of satisfaction. You wash your hands and brush your teeth every day. Now it's time to start cleaning your nose with Navage. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Merrill Guided Investing. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner, and Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. Member SIPC.
Congratulations to the Centerville Elks boys basketball team. For the first time in school history, the Elks reached the OHSAA Division I Boys State Tournament and sealed the deal for their first ever state title. Congratulations from Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, you want a chance to win $1,000? Well, now is that opportunity. It is the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway. And you need to head to wingam.com. You'll look for the Swing for the Fences logo. It's right there on the homepage. You'll click on that, and you'll enter the winning word, TAPE, T-A-P-E. What's the tape showing you on your chances of winning $1,000? Well, find out. Head to wingam.com right now for the Swing for the Fences $1,000 a day giveaway. Enter the winning word, TAPE, T-A-P-E, and be listening weekdays starting at 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. One winning word an hour will be released. You'll enter that winning word at wingam.com for your shot to win $1,000. So swing for the fences. Give yourself an opportunity and enter that winning word. Again, TAPE, T-A-P-E, at wingam.com. Your Honor was a great show, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great show. I mean, Cranston is just freaking amazing. Everything he touches turns to gold, whether it's a comedy. He was the Malcolm in the Middle.
Mm-hmm.
He was in King of Queens for a bit. don't know if you're a King of Queens guy.
I didn't know he was.
He was
on
the
there.
crazy neighbor in King of Queens.
Really?
He had the barking dog, and then Carrie, and they had to keep going over there and telling them to shut their dog up and all this stuff. They had the pool next door. I forgot about that, so I was watching King of Queens the other day. Another great sitcom, by the way. But they're talking about they're doing like some kind of reunion with it. Arthur is dead. You can't bring back King of Queens without Arthur. There are certain characters that without them, although they're not the main character, they are the glue that holds the whole show together. You cannot bring King of Queens back without Arthur. You just can't. I'm sorry, you just can't.
Just a little reunion special. Maybe they do a reunion special like they did for Fresh Prince. Maybe they're not doing an episode.
That's a perfect example. Uncle Phil was never the main character in that show, but because he is no longer out, you cannot, because like that's the character that Will fed off of and made that show what it was. King of Queens, same thing with Doug and him. You can't. I can't believe we're way off topic here. But the bottom line is, yeah. So you
got another show for you to watch.
Okay,
it's called Behind Her Eyes. It's on Netflix. So basically, the premise is she is a secretary, gets a new boss who's a psychiatrist, starts to have an affair with him, but also becomes friends with his wife.
Interesting.
Yeah. It gets real.
All right, so it's on Netflix. One more time.
Behind Her Eyes.
Behind Her Eyes.
Six episodes.
Always looking for those.
Crushed it in one day.
I probably would have. I went out golfing yesterday for the first time all year. It's awesome, by the way. The weather was awesome. It's even better today. I'd love to sneak out there. It's probably such an expensive habit. I'd rather smoke. It's much cheaper. I mean, even if you were into the illegal stuff, it's cheaper than having to pay $30 to golf. I'm telling you right now. And 30's cheap right now. Jason Pruitt, by the way, you are getting the green light here. Jason Pruitt says that's a great series and says Behind Her Eyes is a must watch. So there you go. See, Kev, it's like you almost know what you're talking about.
No spoilers.
Yeah. So Shaw says, yes, very expensive. It is. It really is. Nora and I went yesterday. She can golf, man. I said she golfed in high school, and I hate golfing with her because she golfs better than me. But nonetheless.
Like me and Shayla.
I love that her and I can go out and golf together. It is awesome.
My wife can bowl very well. Like her dad, my father-in-law, has several 300 games. Like they're a bowling family. So like when I go out with them and they go bowling, like I'm like the absolute worst. So
do they get you your own lane with the bumpers on it?
They need to so I can compete. That's how they have me out here looking. I am terrible, especially when I'm bowling with them. It is bad.
So my younger brother, he's all about the bowling, man. Like he is, I love my brother to death. So he grew up, he has autism, and like I was always worried, like how is he going to relate? Like he is a big sports fan, he loves bowling, he loves basketball. I mean, he's always texting me about his brag, but he works at a bowling alley and he bowls in all the leagues. And like I'm used to we'd play board games. I'd always beat him and everything. I'd beat him in bowling. Now he averages like over a 200. He's so damn good, and I can't bowl with him because he beats me and he just talks. You think I talk a lot of smack? He talks way more, and he's a lot better at it than I am. And but shout out to my brother Joey, man. Like he's quite the bowler himself. Hey, by the way, Ian Harold on Facebook says that Bryan Cranston was also a dentist on Seinfeld. So I'm always amazed by that. I love. Do you ever Better Call Saul? Yes. He always. And by the way, that should be. I mean, Esposito or whatever his name is, he's going to be 90 by the time it is funny watching Better Call Saul and how the show is supposed to be before Breaking Bad, and now it's like the bottom line is he keeps looking older every series. But the guy in Better Call Saul, he was also in Everybody Loves Raymond. What else was he in?
Bob
He was
Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now, but I don't like the new movie that's coming out with him. Like he's like this badass.
I'm here for it. Nobody's called Nobody.
Yeah, but it's a nobody. It's like a poor man's Taken. Like he's going and searching for his son or something, right? Like it's like a poor man's Taken, and I can't take him serious at all.
I'm here for it. I'm here for 100%.
Man, interesting stuff. What else was Cranston in? But Cranston was here in Dayton a few years ago. A good friend of mine from college said they're at the Oregon District, and all of a sudden he looked over, and there was Bryan Cranston in the Oregon District and got a picture with them. I thought he was lying. He posted the damn picture. I'm like, good for you, dude.
What the hell was he doing here?
I have no idea. Maybe, you know how them teachers are. It's out looking for his next business, man. Dude, that show is so damn good. Breaking Bad, man. Breaking Bad. By the way, I love the sitcoms, by the way. Look at The Office, representing The Office today on the Facebook feed. Got Dwight Schrute and Michael Scott. One of the best comedies of all time as well. So there you go. Where were we going? I have no clue what we were even planning on coming back.
We're probably not going to get to it today.
By the way, so I tricked all of you. I said I wasn't going to say anything mean about the Bengals for as long as I can, and I've done a great job today. But let's be honest, I haven't talked football today. So every time I say I'm going to talk football, I just keep pushing the football talk back. And that's the best way for me not to say anything bad about the Cincinnati Bengals and upsetting their sensitive fans. So it is what it is. I'm just saying. But, is what it is. Reds opening day is coming up here in a few weeks. Pretty pumped about that, by the way. But I do want to touch on a little football. We'll set this up for tomorrow's show more so than anything. I thought that my concern for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think I could say things that are critical without being put in the category of ripping them. My concern for the Cincinnati Bengals, Kev, is this. They spent over, $150 million in free agency last year. Mm-hmm. They've spent well over $100 million already this offseason. And I don't think that they've gotten any better. Maybe a game or two better, but if you've spent $250 million in back-to-back or in combined off seasons, and you're only sitting at 6 or 7 wins, like, what's going on? Like, that would be my concern. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of concerning. Don't you think that if they spend 100, and to their defense, a lot of guys, Reader and guys were out for the season. They didn't get, but I don't think they were a Reader away from winning more games last year. And they even had some upset wins down the stretch. So my concern is when you look at the money that the Bengals have spent, and Bengals fans, every time I'm critical, doesn't mean you have to cry. It means you can have the conversation with me, convince me that I'm wrong, that this team is better after the $100 million they just spent this offseason. And not just this offseason, but the $150 that they spent last offseason. I just don't think that if a team spends $150 million in an offseason, I don't think they should be picking number 5 in next year's draft. And I also think that a team that spends $100 million the following season of spending $150 should be picking in the top 10 in next year's draft. And I think that's where this is heading as well. I just don't get they have names to show for the money that they've spent, Kev, but they don't have the results that you're looking for. That's what I'm baffled by, is when you hear that this team has spent $250 million over the last 2 off seasons, and I look at this roster and I'm like, they're still going to be battling it out with your Steelers for the bottom of the AFC North, unfortunately. That's where I'm going to be critical without really rubbing it in. It's just an observation. And I think even Bengals fans, you can hate me all you want, but how can you listen to that and not agree that that's a little ridiculous that your team has spent $250 million and don't really have anything to show for it?
So the Cincinnati Bengals were 1-5 in one possession games.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get half of those games, just say you get out of those games, say you get, instead of going 1-5, you go 3-3. That's a market improvement on where you were last year. And also you're expecting your first round draft pick, Joe Burrow, to be a better player. You're expecting your big price running back Mixon to play out the entire season. You're expecting Higgins to get better. You're expecting the guys that you already have on the team to get better than they were last year. And you're also expecting these first round picks that you get to be starters, at least the first 3 rounds. Definitely the first round guy you're expecting to start and make an impact. So I think that's their play. I do believe there's more than one way to skin a cat and more than one way to win in this league. There's
skin a Bengal.
There's spend big money and free agency, get these high price name guys, but you also can look at it and say, all right, if I can get a guy who is, instead of spending $50 million on player X who's 28 years old versus spending $20 million on player Y who's only 25 years old, you're expecting the younger player to develop into what that older player is gonna be. So you're trying to save money that way. So I can see where they're going. I saw that they got an offensive lineman and everything like that. So I can see the path that they're trying to go. Is it going to work out? We don't know, but we all know that they do have a good trigger man, and we know that's the most important position on the field. Now, can they protect them? That's all we're going to have to find out.
My concern is this, and that, I kept harping on the importance of addressing the offensive line. Well, the Bengals struck out with Joe Thuney. They struck out with Zeitler. They struck out with a lot of higher end free agents because they didn't want to spend. And my problem is you spent $100 million before they signed Reef. Is it Reef or Rife? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend.
I thought it was Reef.
It's Reef. We're going to go with Reef.
That's what I thought.
So if it were Reef, Bengals fans, you know what his real name is. If that's his real name, more power to you. But so they signed Reef. they didn't touch that offensive line until after they had already spent $100 million. And that to me is just strange. Like you prioritize so many other things before you got to protecting your number one investment. But the bottom line is I'm not trying to repeat a lot of the same stuff as last week, but the point is that you had one of the worst offensive lines in football. And I know there's still a lot of time left. There's still, players out there to get, but Kev, Bengals fans doing cartwheels over getting Rife, that doesn't do really anything for me.
I think they're
right
just
now.
happy that Bobby Hart's not going to be playing on. So the Raiders had one hell of an offensive line. Oof.
They only re-signed one guy on their offensive line, and everyone else is gone. Now the Raiders have one good offensive lineman right now. So does that make the Raiders fans feel like that they're going to be okay? No. So here the Bengals are with one good offensive lineman, thinking as if they just turned their whole fortune around with one offensive lineman. Who? Trey Hop or not
Bama
the center. I'm Jonah Williams. Stay healthy long enough, and then I'll buy in. I ain't buying into nothing from him yet until he could. Like he wasn't. I mean, the Browns rookie last year was better than theirs than Jonah Williams. So I mean, Jonah Williams was okay, but I mean, he needs to still get better, and he probably will. It's third year in the league, second full year in the league. We'll see. The Bengals aren't done yet, but it's just and then the Galladay thing. The Galladay thing was driving me nuts, Kev, because they missed out on him too. The Cleveland Browns, they addressed their issues on the defensive side. We're out of time. Unfortunately, that's the music telling me to shut up and I got to go. I was doing good. And then I was like, no, we got to stay away. I made it 3 hours without absolutely tearing down the Bengals. So just remember, they don't care about you. You don't care about them. That's all I'm trying to say. Just trying to keep people to be more realistic. How could you say that about them? He would say that about you. We don't even care who you are. Just saying. Have a great night, everybody. We're going to do this again tomorrow. More Reds baseball tomorrow as well. We'll talk more about how the Bengals got used tomorrow. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Galladay, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. The Cincinnati Bengals, and he did it perfectly. Remember I told you? Remember what I said? That he was using them? Just tell me I'm right so I can hurry up and end the show.
Wrap it up, B.
Tell me I was right.
I have a different opinion on that.
Oh, so Kev will tell you his wrong opinion on tomorrow's show. That wraps it up for us today. Until tomorrow, it's been the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Kirkland Sommers, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Fleeced, I tell you, fleeced.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410.